Welcome back, True Seeker. It is Sunday, September 1st, 2024. It is the 85th anniversary of the start of World War II, which began when Hitler invaded Poland. And a lot to say about him invading on September 1st. The war would end 6 years later on September 2nd. The formal end date of the war was August 15th of 45. But yeah, I titled this video, What Have We Learned? If you think about the world wars, they had a lot to do with religion and divisions amongst religions, which is an interesting thing because all of those divisions essentially come back to ego. Again, if you accept that there's a creator and creator created the world we live in and us, then we must all be the reflection of creation. And if you can be honest with yourself, as far as we know, no one has talked to creator other than the signs that we get in our own lives. And I've talked about that in the past. I think creator does show us signs that are clues about if we're on the right path or the wrong path, things that are way beyond coincidence, people being brought together, these types of things. But outside of that, all these stories in these books from tales long ago that we're meant to believe in, and that a lot of us get brought up on by our parents. They say, oh, this is the book we came up on, you're going to come up on this book, this is the best book, this is the truest book there ever was, this is the most important book. And then meanwhile, right across the street, it might be a similar family, similar household, but they're reading a little bit different book and they're learning over there, it's the best book there ever was. I always talk about how my mom, she grew up in a little town in Esmond, North Dakota, about population just over 100, and the town was split right down the middle. It had two churches. On this side of town was the Catholic Church, and on this side of town was the Lutheran Church. And a lot of the parents of the children taught their children, just play with the kids on this side of town. There's plenty of Catholic kids over here. Just play with the Catholic kids. Play those Lutheran kids over there. My mom was one of those Lutheran kids. And funny enough, my mom for kindergarten and first grade, even though we're Lutheran, she put me in a Catholic school because they had all day care. That it was about a convenience thing. They could drop me off early in the morning, pick me up late at night, working all day on the slave grind, like a lot of us, like a lot of people, I should say. But I'm certainly one on the slave grind over here. I get up and I start working, and I work all day, and then, however, the last few years I haven't been grinding as much. I spend a lot of the evening times now with Sweet Lady. So, but do put in a lot of work over here. But yeah, just coming back to it being the 85th anniversary, has humanity really learned to evolve beyond religion? It doesn't really seem like it. Maybe less people are religious now, but I mean, you see it. The wars that are a brewing. The one that's front and center tonight, the massive protest in Israel, the biggest since the war began. And isn't it funny how that war began on the day leaving 85 days left in the year, October 7th, and now here we are on the 85th anniversary of World War II, and it's the biggest protest since the one at the start of the war. You think that's an accident? Again, once upon a time, I would have looked at something like that and been like, what is that about? Is there something about 85 I don't know? There certainly was something about 85 I didn't know. But yeah, just, I was reminded of a religious division today. I was recently talking about how there's a gentleman out there. He's got a YouTube channel. It's now Franchot Blue. It used to be Franchot Pearson, but he got his channel deleted, like a lot of us have had our channels deleted many times. And he came back as Franchot Blue. And I was talking about how recently a video of his popped up. He went viral at the DNC. He got interviewed by somebody who has a big channel, and that person gets to go on Fox News, but he just happened to cross paths with Franchot out the DNC. And I was happy to see in his viral clip that he was talking Gematria. He was sharing about the codes. And then at first when I saw the clip, I was like, I know that guy somewhere. And I had to place it in my mind. I was like, I know that guy somewhere. And then I was reminded a couple of years back, he was giving me shout outs and saying he was learning this gematria thing from me. And then he reached out to me and we were collaborating behind the scenes and we were going to do a little show together. And then at the last minute, he canceled because he said somebody told him that I didn't have the same religious belief as him. And see, that hadn't come up as a problem the whole time. We're both talking about the same things, the same cabal, sharing information about what's wrong with our government, the media. We're all on the same page on all these things, but then we have this little difference in our spiritual view. And to me, not really a meaningful difference, you know. He's still in the church. I came up in the church, but like I always say, I took away the things that are important from my, my spiritual or religious upbringing, and did away with the stuff that to me is just divisive and not really helpful to anything. But anyway, because I popped into his channel after that happened, sometimes you visit somebody's YouTube channel, then they'll start showing up in your feed. He was live today, so I got in this chat and I was leaving some comments, and then he saw him, and then we started having a back and forth, and then all of a sudden somebody else came out of the chat, and then they're like bragging that they were the person that got Franchot to cancel me when we didn't do the interview. And who this person is somebody who like literally emulates my speech, literally copies my posts word for word, presents them as his own, and then even takes the time to slander me. And he says he does it because he believes in Jesus and I'm a bad person because I don't. And it's just like, it's just laughable, right? And then there he is today, and it's just like, wow, this was the person who got Franchot to cancel it years ago, this little turd. But, just that happening today just reminded me, it's like, yeah, just religion. It's just it's this unnecessary thing that causes so much division, so much fighting. And over what? Over what? Because you think your spiritual belief is better than someone else's? Now, there is a place where you could argue that, yeah, maybe somebody's spiritual belief is better than other people's. There are people historically and seemingly today that believe they must sacrifice other people. And maybe there is something to sacrificing other people and gaining power and influence. But I mean, I'm not the type of person that if I found out that if I could sacrifice somebody, I'd gain power and influence and wealth. That wouldn't make me go out and sacrifice somebody. I would never want to gain power, influence, and wealth through the sacrificing of other people. That just seems horribly evil. And that's where you could get into the argument of, yeah, certain spiritualities, maybe they are better than others. But for the most part, I mean, who's doing that? Almost no one. Most people are thinking that their religion's the most true religion. They're serving their religion so they can get their spiritual reward. Most Christians, they think if they believe and, stay true to the faith, they'll be rewarded with the eternal afterlife. If not, they might get the eternal punishment. Again, to me, that could all be possible. It could be possible. There could be an eternal reward after life. There could be an eternal punishment possible. But to me, that's also, in my opinion, not the right reason to be a spiritually sound person, if you will. To me, the reason to be a good person is so that you make the world a better place. You don't trash the place. You put smiles on people's faces. I always like to do this analogy. Imagine you're walking down the street. In one scenario, you're saying hi to people. You see people that need help. Oh, a hand. They're carrying something heavy. They're struggling. You give them a hand. You help them out. You put a smile on their face. You're walking down the street just helping people out where you need help. A guy needs $1. He needs a couple dollars to get lunch. You help him out. Everybody that comes your way that needs a little help, you help them out. They don't need help. You just wave, say something nice, put a smile on their face. This is one scenario. The other scenario is you're going down the street. They're like, I see something nice in that person's car. Bust out their window, steal that. Oh, I see something nice in that person's house. Same thing. Everybody comes back and finds these disasters. Their days are ruined. They got a headache. Now they're taking it out on, their spouse, whoever. One stressful domino leads to the next. One person's going through the world creating smiles and rainbows. and the other person's going through terrorizing the place. Uh, Again, like, that's why you should live right. So you're not making life worse for everybody. And sadly, some people are going down the street and having to break into, well, I shouldn't say having to, but they're doing it not because that's really what they want to do. They're doing it because that's the only way they're going to feed themselves. Or for a lot of people, it's because they've gotten hooked on some drug and now they're an addict and that's the only way they're going to feed their habit. And again, why are the streets flooded with drugs? Because you have wicked people who know that if they flood the streets with drugs, they're going to make a lot of money. And then some of them are so sophisticated, they're like, well, I also make the laws, so I'm going to feed the crack here, and then I'm going to come arrest them here, and then I'm going to put them in the cage, and then I'm going to make money off that too. I'm making monies off both ends. These are wicked people, and you know those kind of wicked people. The politicians, they're the ones always swearing in on the Bible, right? They're the ones always bringing up religion and how they're about it. They're part of it. Yeah, vote for me. I'm a Christian. Here's my Bible. Here, I'm Donald. You guys, Donald Trump selling $60 Bibles for the 60th election. You talk about wicked. The man who had his ex-wife fall down the stairs 45 years after their marriage, 60 weeks into the first Jesuit Ignatian year. And look how many Christians think that voting for that party is the Christian thing to do. I mean, again, you guys, politics is for suckers, and so is religion, and they really do go hand in hand. And you know, Hitler, political party with religious views, built on an ideology of a religious enemy. Doesn't sound too much different from what was going on in the early 2000s. They had to create the imaginary boogeyman, the Islamic terrorist in the cave. You know, I remember down in Arizona, you know, a lot of people, and it wasn't just in Arizona, but I just remember the local news. It was like going on every night. Corner store owners who happen to, you know, oftentimes be Arab, just getting beat up, shot. It was bad, you know, and people doing, oh, that guy looks like a Muslim. Muslims are bad. They blew up the towers when they didn't, when they didn't have anything to do with it. Remember, 2 towers became 0, became 1. Go back and look at the Reichstag fire of the Nazis. The guy that was blamed for that, his name equals 201. Go figure. Just like Adolphus Hitler, the name on Adolf's birth certificate. But yeah, seriously, like religion. I mean, honestly, if you want to claim to be part of a religion in 2024, you're making sure that all of the same problems of history's past will continue into the future. Again, here's everything everybody really knows, minus your indoctrination and your books written by man. The creator doesn't have a name. There's no name to fight over, actually. Nameless. It's not like he yelled out of the sky or down from the earth or anywhere. He never yelled out what his name was or her name or whatever. There is no name. It's an unknown name. And in fact, you know, but again, just even the idea creator, that's actually something you do have to believe in. And if that might be the only place that I use the word believe, you know, the word that purposely has lie right in the middle. But I do believe there's a creator, because where else did everything come from? Big Bang? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, that literally doesn't make any sense. And I do feel like just there's things that happen in life that you cannot just chalk up to coincidence. And that's creator communicating with creation. It's just like even the little bird. At first, I was trying to get rid of the bird nest, but it just kept coming back. And the next thing we know, we're just like, you know what? Let's just let the little birds have their little nest here right at the front door. And the next thing you know, sweet lady's like, you know what? Maybe we need some little birdies. And I think we did. I think it'll be great for us going forward. You know, I think in a way, these are just the way creator operates. And, but yeah, just coming back to this idea of fighting over religious beliefs, it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. That said, this religious order that works by the code that gave us the calendar, understanding what religion is and how it's used to manipulate and divide, and again, that has some advantages. Like we can understand why they started this war in Israel on the day leaving 85 days left in the air, on the anniversary of the US invading Afghanistan after 9/11. We can understand why, because we've learned what it means. And it's obvious because here we are now on the 85th anniversary of World War II beginning. And don't forget, it formally ended on the Jesuit order's birthday, August 15th. But here we are, 85th anniversary, biggest protest in Israel over this religious division that's all such obvious symbolic manipulation. But remember, the word Templar equates to 85, and they waged the Holy Wars, didn't they, the Templars? Remember, Templar equals 85, crucify equals 85, Christ equals 85. The Jesuit motto, Isus hominum salvator, equates to 85. Again, the Jesuit order's logo, IHS for Isus hominum salvator, with the Templar cross. You run it in reverse, it's 122, like today's the first of the last 122 days of the year. Don't forget, Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope, and Pope Francis also equals 122. Funny enough, like San Francisco, which is named after St. Francis of Assisi, just like Pope Francis. And again, San Francisco's on the 122nd meridian. But yeah, this stuff's not an accident. Again, Bush was the president when 9/11 happened and we invaded Afghanistan, and he was a member of Skull and Bones, which gets their symbolism from how the Templars bury their dead in an ossuary. And Bush literally referred to what we were doing as a crusade, which were waged by the Templars. I mean, it really can't be any more obvious. And, you know, September 1st, the majority of the world writes that date 1/9. 1/9. You know what Isus equals in Gematria? 19. That's the Roman name for Jesus, if you don't know. Isus hominum salvator means Jesus, Savior of man. So, and we all know chaos equals 19 too. The motto is order out of chaos. And don't forget, the Revolutionary War began on the anniversary of Ignatius of Loyola becoming the first superior general. That's April 19th. Revolutionary War was America, Great Britain. But again, just the Jesuits. You see that they've been instigating. Lincoln blamed the Civil War on the Jesuits. The Jesuits are the continuation of the Templars, who served the church, the Catholic Church, the most powerful religious order in the world. You know, again, that's evidenced by their worldwide network of schools and hospitals and churches and the immense wealth. The Vatican, probably the most valuable building on earth. Certainly not where Jesus would live. You know, Jesus wasn't talking about living in a what's the yeah, Jesus wasn't talking about living in any palaces. You know, Jesus wouldn't be driving the pimped out Pope mobile. But yeah, if you don't know the history of the Jesuits, again, they came about as a response to the Protestant Reformation, where Martin Luther targeted Catholicism as well as Judaism. And again, that's why Israel is so clearly a Jesuit creation. And remember, Hitler modeled his order after the Jesuits. And remember, Hitler had an agreement with German Jews in 1933 to send 60,000 to Palestine to start the beginning of a Jewish state. And when we go to our 13 years of slave school, pledging to 13 stripes, they leave out that. They don't teach us anything about what happened in 1933. They don't teach us about World War I and the Balfour Declaration. And remember how that Rothschild got it in the 201 ritual? That Lord Rothschild that the Balfour Declaration is addressed to. Remember that Rothschild died in a big 201 ritual, just like Israel, the 201 state. David Ben Gurion dead 201 days after the anniversary of its establishment. Again, the Jesuit order equals 201. A lot of 201s of the Jesuit history. Another one of those three nails right there in their symbol. That stands for triclavianism, the Roman form of capital punishment. Triclavianism equals 201. Capital punishment, funny enough, equals 201. It's a whole other topic. We get into what they did with Timothy McVeigh on Ignatius of Loyola Day and how he was sentenced to death on the day leaving 201 days left in the air. and then executed 3 months before 9/11 happened. Remember, Timothy McVeigh was born in that year of years, 68. Same year as the lead hijacker on 9/11, same year World Trade Center construction began, 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. Don't forget, counterterrorism equals 201, and Joe Biden passed the nation's first counterterrorism legislation on the Oklahoma governor's birthday, right before the place blew up 68 days later when terror equals 68. Joe Biden's like one of the only criminals that's been around to see all this through for all these years that you could still get justice for. Bush and Dick Cheney, but a lot of these people have already died. By the way, biggest protest in Tel Aviv since the war began on 9/1. You think that's an accident when Tel Aviv equals 91, like the Society of Jesus? It is certainly not. 91 is the 13th triangular number. Jesus and the 12 disciples, that's 13. The sun and the constellations, that's 13. The Illuminati, founded by a Jesuit with 13 families, right before the 13 stripes came out of 13 colonies. Again, just everything's been numerical ritual the whole time, and it's sad that more people don't catch on. World War I ends on 11/11, all ones at 11 a.m. Franz Ferdinand, his assassinations, the what's blamed. His license plate had 11/11/18 on it. That's when World War I ended, November 11th, 1918. World War II formally ends on August 15th, the Jesuit order's birthday. The official end date is the 2nd of September, when it began on September 1st. World War II ends on the 2nd. Netanyahu comes back on Albert Pike's birthday, who wrote the letter about 3 world wars, which was published on August 15th, the Jesuit order's birthday. Again, the Jesuits are a religious order. Again, all things good and bad. If anybody out there is like, well, religion does some good things too, sure. Yeah, it's like Christian missionaries go to poor places and build houses, bring food. Churches feed the poor. All things good and bad, but at the end of the day, is religion doing more good than bad in the world? I don't think so. Nearly all of the wars, thousands of years of killing, comes back to religion. Again, Burma, the longest ongoing civil war on earth right now. It's because that nation's divided between 3 religions and they're all warring with each other: Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism. And by the way, you guys let me know. Was it mean of me to call this guy out? Again, I wasn't planning on doing this, but again, he has been a troll for 4 years. He literally copies my work, gives no credit, and slanders, and makes up all kinds of false stories about me. And I know recently his father passed, and we've noticed for some time that his surname is the same surname as the 5th Superior General of the Jesuits. And again, you got to wonder who'd essentially stick an instigator on me nonstop as I'm exposing this 201 code. But isn't it funny that his father passed at 61 on the 283rd day of the Superior General's age, the 61st prime, and then he came at me and said, "My dad died in Fort Pierce, not the other town that's mentioned in the obituary." And I was like, well, that's weird, because Fort Pierce equals 61 as well. I mean, that's what we see these people do all the time. So, I feel bad that I'm sure he's still grieving. His father passed recently, but again, it does look mad suspect. I mean, the 5th Superior General was Aqua Viva, and now an Aqua Viva is dead 5 days after the Jesuit order's birthday. And again, like I said, 3 out of 4 years, the anniversary of this man's passing, he just passed on August 20th, is going to be 201 days after Claudio Aquaviva's death anniversary. He's having a fit in the scenes and asking me to take this down, but I'm like, I don't think I am going to take it down. You've been putting out a lot of false information and slandering me. I don't feel like I'm slandering you. I'm saying this looks mad weird. Your dad died on the 199th day of his age, the 46th prime. We know how often these people work by this way. The sacrifice code, Genesis 46. So obituary says he lived the majority of his life in St. Petersburg, named after St. Peter. I don't know. This looks like something's up here to me. So yeah, I mean, and again, I do feel bad for your dad. 61's pretty early to pass. I wonder if you guys have a real bloodline to this family. Looks highly possible. Again, you came out of the woodwork post event 201 when we were right on the money exposing all this. I'm out in the streets March 13th, freezing my ass off all day to warn people about what's coming, being dead on the money. This troll's online making videos saying that I'm CIA, that I'm Mason. Hmm, I don't know. It looks like you're the one that has the suspicious things going on. And the other weird thing is, you know, if you guys don't know this little weirdo creep I'm talking about, the son of this man who passed, he begins every stream. I'm pretty sure he's never read a word of the Bible, but he just starts with this thing about how Jesus lived a perfect 33 years. His dad's died while he's 33 years old. Isn't that weird? His dad dies at 61. Jesus, cross, church, Christian, Christmas, all 61. And to die on the 283rd day of the Superior General's age, the 61st prime, in Fort Pierce, as you informed us. Fort Pierce also goes with Aqua Viva. Isn't that weird? 56, like Society of Jesus. This kid always says that his favorite number is 222, like Superior General, and then his dad dies perfectly synced with the Superior General. I never met anybody in my life who said their favorite number was 222. See, the thing that annoys me about this guy is he's like, he read my book and 9/11 to coronavirus with the 222 part, and he always presents it, and he's like he presents it like it's his own research. It's just a joke. And then in his next breath, then slanders me. It's just like, there's something seriously wrong with this human being, you know? And again, Jesuits, Illuminati, the country's 248 years old, and your pops is gone on the 248th day of the Pope's age. This looks weird. Dead on a 72 date numerology when Jesuit order 72, and we got the first Jesuit Pope on the 72nd day of the year. And again, how many people in the world have a feature article written about them by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? You know, one of the most symbolic teams in the league. You do. That's weird. Tom Brady married, Tom Brady was Mr. 201. Giselle born on the 201st day of the year. Tom Brady born 201 years after the country. Last rig Super Bowl. That's when this guy came around too. That year when we helped a ton of people, as we've done so many years. But I mean, that year we had no doubt that the Bucs would beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl before the season began. Brady with 201 passing yards in the game. So you should take care of yourself too, Chubbs. And again, we saw this guy. He was on a church parking lot beefing with other Christians, telling other Christians they're going to hell, and then lying too. He said, "I will stay here and get arrested." And then as soon as I'm pretty sure they faked like they were calling the police. He was out of there in 5 seconds, just showing nothing but empty rhetoric. So, yeah, again, I mean, this is what religion creates: goons, needless haters, weirdos. Literally, religion does create weirdos. Look how many religious people are child rapists. I mean, seriously. Uh, you look at the Amish with their incest problem. I don't really want to knock the Amish, though. I think the Amish actually might have a lot of things going right. Skipping the technology, staying to basics in the ancestors' way. But yeah, this kid just coming out of the woodwork on the anniversary of World War II, and you're just like, what do you do? Just follow me around? I didn't even know you're in here. He's like, yeah, I'm the reason he canceled you. It's like, why are you proud of that? Why are you proud of stopping people from collaborating who are trying to share information about evil stuff that's happening in this world? So I'm guessing this here. I'm guessing that you must be the spouse of Joseph, and I'm guessing your other alias is Katie Rose. Why do you guys attack and slander me and use my platform to promote your work? Doesn't that seem like a bad thing to do? You gladly use my platform to promote your work. I'm not the sick one. You guys are the weirdos. And again, if he didn't want this problem, he shouldn't have been in the chat needlessly attacking me. I wasn't even talking to him. So no. And by the way, I hear Joseph say that he's paying all the bills for your family through the knowledge he learned from me. So really, you guys should thank me. If that's how you guys stay afloat, by teaching the knowledge, by copying my work, essentially I'm paying your bills too, aren't I? And for you to come here and call me sick, you guys would probably be out on the street, homeless bums, if you didn't have somebody to rip off and clone and then try to build up your reputation by slandering me. Don't come here and call me sick. Here, I dropped the link. Why didn't you come on here and explain yourself? We'll see who looks sick. Yeah, exactly, Green Kid. That's exactly the way I learned it too. It's exactly the way I learned it. Because again, what's sick about what I'm showing? You know, if Joseph was decoding a celebrity death, he'd say this is a perfect decode, undeniable, wouldn't he? Dead on the 199th day of the age, 46th prime, St. Petersburg, all over the obituary. How many times have we seen this in the world of celebrity? How many times have we seen this with Catholics? A lot. So isn't it strange? Isn't it strange how it all lines up? Fifth Superior General, same surname, dead 5 days after the Jesuit order's birthday. Again, I mean, it's undeniable. 283rd day of the Superior General's age, 61st prime, dead at 61 in Fort Pierce. Here's what I'll entertain. The organic side of this. Run your family DNA. Are you related to this order? This wicked Jesuit superior general from the past? You know, people have been warning about the Jesuits since back when Claudio was in service. Is because of the evil they've done? Is there some kind of consequence in the universe for people related to this order? Could it be something like that? Is that the reason Joseph's such a wicked person? I mean, Joseph's the horrible human being. Yeah, exactly. I can't stand whiners either. Joseph is a whiner. I mean, he sits and trolls and he's a little baby. You call him out and he's like, "I'm blocking you." It's like, you want to slander and troll people, and then when they call you out, your response is, "I'm blocking you." That's called a loser. Yeah, I mean, this Joseph guy that I'm talking about is a total coward, 100% coward. So, Katie, if you're the wife, you are married to a coward. You brought children into the world through a coward. I hope your children do better than your husband. Your husband's a pathetic man. Why doesn't he come on the stream? Let me spell out a word why he won't. Here's the real reason why. That's how we call it on the street. Pussy. That's why. That's 100% why. Yeah, Katie probably is Joseph. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We saw Joseph in action, beefing with Christians in the parking lot, running away from men who were well past retirement age. And after he drove away, huffing and puffing, he's like, "That was scary. They were coming at me." It's like, my God, what do you do if it was against people your own age? Jesus. Come on in here, Katie. Come on in here and tell me about your husband that's not a sick man. The one that copies my work, slanders my name. You know who came? You guys wouldn't believe who jumped in the chat. Oh man! Now to give the oh man, he really wants to get on here. You guys wouldn't believe who's in the back room. Yeah, open up knows what's up. Exactly, exactly. Mm. All right, I told you if you don't change that name, you're going to get blocked. So, all right, he's out of here too. If you think going from truth does not exist to extinction of truth was a qualification for a better name, out of here. It's always crickets from the haters. All they can do is hide behind their own little screens and computers and talk shit, but they're not going to come on and have any kind of conversation or debate. Where's the Aqua Vivas at? Come on and tell me how it's all a coincidence. Here, I'm dropping the link again. There's got to be somebody else out there other than Cuts. Doesn't look like they're going to do it. Doesn't look like they're going to do it. Okay. Well, if they're not going to hop on, we can wrap this up. Cuts is begging in the back room to get on. All right. Yeah, I don't think they're going to show up. Do you guys think we should give Cuts his 2000th attempt, or should we just leave him in the back room? Oh, Joseph is in the chat. Here he is. Here he is. Joseph, jump on. I'm waiting for you, buddy. Jump on. Come on, Joseph. Yeah, that is true, Joseph. I've told that story. I've told the story. No, Joseph, I want you to come on and tell me about how it's all just a coincidence. You know, you trolling when we're exposing this stuff, you literally copying my work word for word. I mean, anybody who listens to you can tell that, you know, that you learn to speak about this information through me. You use the same phrasing I do. So it's just weird to learn from somebody, emulate them, and then attack and slander them. And you're not the only one who does that. A lot of you weirdos have crept up post 2020 when we've been laser focused on the Jesuits. And I find it funny because you all copy me. You say I'm a bad person because I don't believe in Jesus. It's like, I'm consistent. I'm exposing the society of Jesus, the problem with religion, religious thinking, how people have been trained from a young age to believe authorities, which opens them up for serious manipulation, like we saw in the time of the pandemic put on by the Jesuits. Again, I'm a very logical person, consistent person. And the only time I'm really going anywhere off course is when I have to defend myself from snakes in the grass like you. So, again, you've made a lot of false accusations about me. I said I could be wrong about this, but again, I don't know. I mean, this looks pretty dead on the money. So I didn't misspeak in my video. You're trying to twist things. I said 3 out of 4 years, it's going to be 201 days away from the anniversary. And you know, in that video, I even missed initially how your pops, he went out on the 283rd day of the Superior General's age, and then you even let us know that he died in Fort Pierce. I mean, This looks par for the course what we see going on every day in this world with this Jesuit cabal and those who serve them. So, I mean, logically to me, a troll like you, I see how you'd be serving them. You're spending all your time attacking and slandering the person in the world who's exposing what's going on. No, nobody else is putting this stuff together. Logical argument. Come defend yourself. Yeah, Joseph. And again, Joseph, you might not be the sharpest tool in the shed. you know, I did say every year, 3 out of 4 years, it's going to be 201 days away. Yeah, I spoke clearly. I didn't say your father died 201 days after the anniversary this year. I said 3 out of 4 years, their death anniversaries are going to be 201 days apart. And I also said it's very interesting how it's again, fifth superior general, Joseph. There's a lot of layers here. Fifth superior general of the Jesuits. You're in your 5th year of trolling me, and your pops has gone 5 days after the Jesuit order's birthday. And again, I'm just like, man, that's sad. That's sad if that's how it works out for a troll. I don't know how much you got. You said you make all your money off trolling me. So you say in your videos all the time, I get all my money doing this. And all you're really doing is just copying me and trolling me. So your career right now and how you feed your family is trolling me. Here's Joseph Aquaviva, favorite number 222, as he always tells his audience. And now his pops has gone perfectly synced with the superior general. Is that a coincidence? Pops is gone while the country and the Illuminati are 248. And again, if this is correct, I mean, it's a sign that the Illuminati is employing some pretty serious goofballs in their camp. I guess you'd say Joseph's a useful idiot. Isn't that weird? On the 72 date numerology, your pops is out of here. 72 demons in the Goetia. You guys might be, your family might be one of them, Joseph. Your bloodline might be one of them. 409 years since looks like your ancestor passed, the 80th prime, going with Satan, like Baphomet, like Bavarian Illuminati, like most of you Christian types. All ego, all my religion's the best. I'm the best because of my religion. I'm so good because of my religion. All ego, first tenet of Satanism. Show me a Christian, 9 times out of 10, I'll show you somebody satanic. That's why I left the religion when I was 12. I said, ugh, these are some bad people to be associated with. Let me do away with this. Come on, Joseph. Come on up. Come on up. Step up to the plate, big man. Come on. I must be real scary to you. You run away from 80-year-olds. I'm only halfway there. Come on, Joseph. You're 8 years younger than me. Come on, big boy. Don't you love when scumbags say they're praying for your soul? What's that even mean? Like, where's the Jesus tenet of steal from a man and slander his name? I don't remember that in the teachings of Jesus, because that's your legacy, Joseph. Joseph's legacy is stealing from yours truly and slandering his name, and then saying he's using this information to feed his family. You feed your family through what you learn from me and give no thanks. See, I want to make a point too. The religious cult that is Christianity, these people support evil people simply because they say they also believe in Jesus. That's all you have to do to get a cult behind you. A call for an uprising. Horrible human being. Total weirdo. Total creep. Just done all kinds of psychotic stuff trying to slander me as well. To his credit, or to Joseph's credit, at least Joseph puts his face on the screen and puts his real name out there. Call for an uprising is an even bigger coward. We never seen him out pounding payment anywhere. We did see him retire, though, one day after he debated me, and then he came back 3 months later with a 2-hour slander piece with all fake information. But again, people will get behind creeps and weirdos if they just say they believe in Jesus. I mean, again, Look at all the Jesus people raping children. Jesus, why don't you come out of the sky and stop all these weirdos raping children in your name, hiding behind your name? See, this is a joke of a response. After what you are doing, I should thank you? Dude, you've been slandering and trolling for 5 years. Today you got in a chat room that wasn't your chat room, somebody else's, and then you started bragging about how you're the reason that him and I didn't collaborate because you put in his ear that I was a bad person. And you know why he trusted you? Because he's part of that cult as well. He's like, oh, and here's the thing too about Franchise. Franchise had just lost his channel and he was having trouble getting his channel set back up at the time. And I spent like 2 hours on the phone with him that day because he's an older guy and not great with technology. And I helped him get a channel set back up. He said his daughter had helped him the last time and he was having trouble doing it. So I spent that day helping him reestablish a channel. And then we were gonna collaborate, and I was gonna help promote him at the time because he was starting his following up. But that's what blew my mind. Later in the day, he's like, "Oh, I have to cancel because somebody told me you don't believe in Jesus. Is that true?" And I could just lied to him. I could have said, oh no, Franchot, I believe in Jesus," like a lot of these frauds do. Retard from Boston, perfect example. Total scumbag piece of shit. And again, so many religious people are just like gullible dopes. I mean, retard from Boston's on BitChute about 2 months ago telling people that somebody broke into his house, busted out his windows, or he said his car actually. He said it was his car. Somebody broke out all of his windows and stole his gold bars out of his car. So he needed people to send him money. And I was like, you think he'd be recording on video his car all busted up? He didn't show anything. He just told a story about how his windows got broken out and somebody stole all of his gold bars. And retard from Boston's been scamming for years. And then what retard from Boston finally learned is that if he just claimed Jesus, then the money would flow in. And then he learned that line, "Oh, I'm putting on the armor of God, praise Jesus." Just a total scumbag. Richie from Boston, if you guys don't know what retard from Boston is, that's his real name. Just total scumbag. Scumbag. But he learned, if I just say I believe in Jesus, the dopes will send me money. The next thing you know, he's showing his brand new FJ. He's just driving back and forth on the freeway while gas is $5 a gallon, getting 9 miles a gallon in his car. Like, man, I should have learned this Jesus trick a long time ago. Just claim Jesus. You guys, again, I'm not a con man and a liar and a fraud. I had the whole demographic of YouTube down before I got here. I saw it was very right-leaning, very Jesus-y, very Republican-y. When Flat Earth came around in 2015, that was the other thing Richie caught on to. He's like, ooh, if I claim Flat Earth and Jesus, wow, I can buy an FJ every YouTube pay period. And again, that's what his whole channel became. That's what he's still doing on BitChute. Scamming his audience, bringing up the name Jesus. I saw the two suns today. I saw the sun simulator. Yeah. No. If I wanted to run the scam on YouTube, I would have done the same thing. No, I knew that it's battling a hill to say that you don't believe. I know that's going to turn a lot of people away, but it's the honest thing to do when you don't believe. I don't think it makes me a better person to say that I believe in some story printed in a book. Yeah, go watch Richie's video from the other year. Oh, you guys, somebody busted out my windows and stole my gold bars in the back of my truck. I was just like, God, this guy, man. This guy is shameless. And it's just like anyone with a brain would be like, why not show us your vehicle then? Somebody bust out your window. Show us the vehicle, Richie. It's like a week later, he's driving it in the woods, another video again, nothing wrong with it. But it's easy to say that he got his windows fixed. But you just think if you're going to make that claim, you'd show that the vehicle's all busted up. And he's just driving around in the FJ with gold bars in the back? Really? And my other favorite thing that Richie always lies about is he's like, I went to prison because I took a baseball bat to a pedophile. Yeah, I'm guessing he was the pedophile. Yeah. Again, anyone who has a brain relates with, authentic people, not people who claim to be about something just to manipulate others. Again, didn't want to ride the flat Earth wave because flat Earth looked like total bullshit to me. And look at who fell for flat Earth: religious people. Just like how they fall from Richie for Boston, con man like Joseph Aquaviva. After what you're doing, should I thank you? How about in the last 5 years, since that's how you've been feeding your family, by copying my work? No, no, thank you for 5 years. Now you're going to cry because I finally called you out. What's up, Lucas? Welcome back. Chew Man, here, let me help you out with the band stick. Adios, Chew Man. Chew Man must be getting hurt. Must be a Richie fan. You asked me if I was the reason. I said yes, I'll own that. I was trying to be honest. I wasn't bragging. I don't even know what you're talking about. Why don't you come on the stream? Why don't you come on the stream? Pussy. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I got to wrap this thing up. I got to spend time with Sweet Lady. But I want you to come on the stream and I want you to address the things I've said. I give you a chance to air out your side of the story. Let's hear your side of the story, Joseph. Is it not true you've been trolling for 5 years, ripping off my work, telling people it's how you feed your family? Would you be homeless without me? I mean, if you don't have any other way to feed your family, what would you have done if you didn't learn from me? Because we know Jesus didn't come down and teach you this. See? See? This is who Joseph is. You and the other guy, the British guy who found Jesus supposedly, who's all about his ego, he's also totally satanic. It's all about his ego. And now he's preaching. He's preaching every day. Jesus is the only way. The guy with the British accent, total moron. Another guy who rips off my work and slanders my name. Yeah. He says the same thing too. A false statement. Thank you, John. Shout out to you. 13 serpents. 13 serpents. You didn't have to donate on this. 13 serpents. You're another one. I'm highly appreciative of you, but seriously, like I always say, man, I hope you have a nice big rainy day fund. If you don't, seriously, no more donations because you have just donated so much, and I'm grateful. But he says you can teach a master class in people not appreciating what you give and the help you offer. Do you have any tips to keep helping and not letting it make you bitter? Again, you guys, when I got into this, again, I was here for over 5 years straight and never made a penny off this. And I didn't want to make a penny off this because I just wanted people to see that I was here to get out an authentic message, show real knowledge. It wasn't about anything other than getting out information to stop the tyranny that's taking place in this world. And, part of the reason I could do that for 5 years is because I'd been really smart financially. I live way within my means. I had a very low mortgage to pay. I had some money saved up. Yeah, some things got flipped around in that time, but then I got back up and could still manage the situation. But after 5 years and then deletion and then deletion and deletion and deletion and not achieving the goal, went back to the drawing board and said, well, maybe we do need resources. I had people in the community in my ear saying, Zach, you got to get resources and make something bigger happen. And, in the time we've done that, we are getting closer to goals. There is going to be a day eventually, so long as the world doesn't end, that there will be a Gematria Effect News studio and team and bigger things happening. But at the rate we're going, I mean, it's probably still 10 years away. So, I mean, I don't know if it's true that I'm not bitter. There are parts of me that are bitter, to be perfectly honest. But just the motivation is that there's the evil in this world is still dominating and there's not enough people fighting it. So as long as that's the case and as long as I'm breathing, I'll be speaking against it and exposing it. And I don't want to spend my time on things like this. This happens every now and then, but the cancers in the world, like a Joseph Aquaviva, they do need to be called out from time to time. And Joseph, this wouldn't have happened to you today if you would have just not started bragging in the chat and trying to turn the flock of Christians against me. And it was kind of amazing to watch. I was just like, look at how this chat, they really like Joseph. Wow, they really like Joseph. They're like, yeah, Joseph, get him. Zach's a bad person. It's just like, wow, look how backwards this is. Here's him and Franchot, who both learned from me, have both benefited their audiences sharing the information, but then they all hate me because they all know that Zach's not in the same religious camp. And you just see how it can happen. It's just like how a group can persecute another group just because of a slight, different. What's the word? Differentiation in spirituality. So yeah. Well, here. Just Cuts is waiting so patiently in the background, and I really do feel bad for Cuts. I wish he would just either come back to, Cuts. I remember something. I remember the last time you donated $20. You gave me a $20 super chat, and I felt bad that you donated it because the stream you had just done, I saw your own stream, and you were mad that more people weren't supporting your work, and I left you a comment. I said, Cuts, don't get so upset. Just keep doing the good work. But when you donate that 20, I said to you that night, I said, Cuts, don't donate me any money. I said, you have good work to do too. Cuts, you guys, he spent all of his time the last year and a half trolling me, but Cuts actually used to do great research. He actually, that's why, Cuts, I feel like you're playing a character because I've seen the intelligent Cuts before. And even now when you're like at the, working at the store, and then you're like going back and forth between it's the weirdest thing when you're like literally streaming at the store, working with customers and like trolling me at the same time. I'm like, what do the customers think right now? It's so weird. He's all nice and lovey-dovey with the customer. And then he's like, and you're I'm just like, this is like the weirdest thing to watch. But yeah, Cuts, I do remember that. And that is true. When you made that super chat donation, I said, Cuts, just I appreciate that, but save your money. Like you said, you got to fund your own movement right now. Again, I hate when people come at me and say I'm some greedy, stingy person. I'm always telling my top donors to stop donating because I feel like they've donated too much. And you know, Cuts, he's just another guy who I promoted, and then he flipped on me. I got so many people in the world that I feel like I've helped out who are nothing but my haters. It's just the weirdest thing. And here, just because you've waited so long, I'm going to give it Cuts. If you just go right into the same talking points that we've already addressed 5,000 times, you're going to be out of here in 5 seconds. You're going to be as fast. You're going to be out of here as fast as I put you on. But if you're on here tonight to say something different, maybe apologize. Maybe say you're going to get back to, doing your old work, your own research, trying to build up your own movement. That's fine, but I don't want to hear the same crap, Cuts. Yeah, we all know. I wrote a book about it. Gematria started with Hebrew, or it might be older than that, and the older history might have been destroyed. But as far as we know, it started with Hebrew. Trust me, Cuts. I wrote a book about it. We all know. But like I've always said, it's obvious the Catholic Church implemented the code in the English language and synced it up with their calendar that they put out into the world at the same moment in history in the 16th century. And it's obvious that day after day, they're working by this code ritualistically, just like with what they're doing in their nation, Israel, tonight. So, again, Cuts, how many times have we talked about the rituals with 85 in this war? And now here we are on the 85th anniversary of the start of World War I, and it's the biggest protest since the war began on the day, leaving 85 days left in the year. All right. One little shot for Cuts. If he goes right into the same talking points, it's going to be. All right, Cuts for the 2000th time. What's new tonight? I can't hear you for some reason. Why can I not hear him? Cuts, did you mute yourself? Can you guys hear him? Can you guys hear Cuts? I can't hear Cuts. I can't hear him. I can't hear you, but you know what, Cuts? You look better tonight. You look healthier. The hair's flowing. The facial hair looks better. The shades look mean. You look like you could play left field for the Giants. Up to the plate, cuts money. You can see the fans with the signs, ERIN. I can see cuts out in left field, maybe second base. Talking that big game. Okay. Sorry, Cuts. I don't know. It wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. No audio for some reason tonight. Okay. Okay. All right, Cuts money. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm on Wikipedia. I don't think so. As far as I know, I never had a Wikipedia. I know I know I got one of those haterpedias though. I forget what it's called. There's the haterpedia. They got a big one on me on that thing. Bad boy. Oh man. Saved by big tech for once. Joseph, how are you gonna let a dude whose name is ERIN have bigger balls than you? Hold up, I gotta check this Wikipedia claim. That's new. If I have a Wikipedia, people have tried to make Wikipedias for me in the past. Yeah, see that there's no Wikipedia for me. There's the hater wiki, rational wiki. That's the one there is. Go to Wikipedia. Are you saying under the gematria? Are you saying under the gematria? Hold on. No, my last name doesn't come up in this post. You're talking nonsense. Well, we've been waiting for Joseph. Joseph just wants to hang out in the chat. Joseph wants to hang out in the chat. You're saying, why not let Joseph call in? I've been asking him to call in. I keep dropping the link. Here, I dropped it again for him. Well, Joseph, again, how many videos have you made about me slandering me? So, have you and I ever corresponded and streamed at the same time? I've asked you to come on and have a conversation before. You never do. So to me, that's cowardly. It's like, like just like No Impact Flicks. He's made several videos slandering my name. The other day, he was saying the other day I caught him in his line. He just shut up right in his stream. He's like, I'll never work with him because all he says is ad hominem attacks and he's a bad person. And I was like, well, now wait a minute. Owen Benjamin came at you real hard and you marketed the thing by showing what he said about you and how mean it was. So wait a minute. You're going to have a conversation with Owen Benjamin who dropped all kinds of bombs on you and then he just shut up. And again, remember how him and Owen Benjamin started their debate. They started their debate by talking shit about me. It's like, how weird is that? Two guys who've been allowed to have big platforms on the tube and other places on the web, allowed to have their channels grow to over 500,000 subs. They got to start their debate by talking shit about me. Isn't that weird? No, all these frauds and phonies around here. Fakes, frauds, phonies everywhere. And then when you get the real deal, people don't appreciate it. And you know why people don't appreciate the real deal? Because most people are just fakes, frauds, and phonies themselves. Bottom line. Got to believe in a fake religion. Oh, if you don't believe in the fake religion like me, then I can't be friends with you. And I noticed, didn't Owen Benjamin start doing the Jesus shilling thing too? I told you I don't talk about you. Now, Joseph, in the chat today, you said the same thing. You said, I don't talk about you anymore. And I said, well, the thing is, though, you never put out an apology for all the slandering you did of me. And then what did you write back? You wrote that your response back was, I'm blocking you. That's weird. Did I say anything that mean? I just said you never did an apology for slandering me. Your response is, I'm blocking you? That's weird. I didn't say you didn't kill your dad. That's not what I said. I didn't say you killed your dad. I didn't make that accusation. And I said it could be a coincidence too. You came in and gave me the additional information that made it look even more incriminating. I never said that. You're lying. You're a liar. I never said that. Here, go back and prove that I said that. Go back and prove that. Here. This is a straight up lie. He's not going to be able to find that anywhere because that never happened. What's with you guys? What's with all the lies? You can't apologize. Here, hold on. What did Jesus teach about apologizing? Jesus and forgiveness, Jesus and apologetics. Look at this. Look at this article right here. Look at this article right here, Joseph. Let's see if you're really about it. You know. Joseph, out of curiosity, if you don't mind talking about it, and you know, I'll admit, I wouldn't have done this to you if you didn't do what you did today. But then I have been wondering because you know I took a look when I heard I had to take a look, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go. But then I saw today, and I was like, God, this kid is wicked. This kid is wicked. And then I find out you're 33 right now too. It gets even weirder. No, this show wasn't about you killing your dad, but you know, it's about religion and what religion does to people. Now it creates needless division, creates a lot of weirdos. I'd say you are the definition of a weirdo, and the reason why is because again, you copy me. You're like a clone of me. You speak like me. You learn to talk about this knowledge with the same phrasing I use, but then you slander me. That's weird. That's a weird thing to do. And you say this is the knowledge that feeds your family. So I mean, who are you going to give thanks to? You didn't learn it from Jesus. You're going to give thanks to Jesus every time, but not the person you learned from? I am a pretty good person, but I'm not perfect. You know, you want to throw stones at me, I'll throw some back. I think my stones are hitting harder. Nothing you've ever done has really hurt me that bad, but I can tell you're hurt. I can tell you're hurting from what I put together here. And they say the truth hurts. That's why all your little petty insults. Oh no, Joseph said I'm CIA. Oh no, he said I'm Mossad. Oh no. Oh no. But look at you. You're real hurt today. Did you message me and say that I'm going to burn in hell? Who are you? Are you God? You have the power to judge? I'm going to burn in hell because I pointed out the synchronicities with the passing of your father. Well, here, call in and defend yourself. I'll give you 5 minutes to talk uninterrupted. Here, 5 minutes to talk uninterrupted. Come on, big man. Come on. I promise you, 5 minutes uninterrupted. I'll put the timer on the screen. You can say whatever you want for 5 minutes. I'll give you more than that, but 5 minutes uninterrupted. Promise. That's a promise. Thank you, Brian Williams, for the CashApp. Come on. Here, I'll show you how Cuts does it. Here. Let's see if you got a mic fix. This is how you do it. You just hop on and you start talking. Cuts, you got the
Hey, what's good, Zachary K. Hubbard? How are you, man? Can you hear me?
I like it. Start with the how are you doing? I'm doing all right. How are you, Cuts?
I'm all right. I've been better. I do appreciate you just like reverse frauded your own fraud fucking scumbag kike bitch fucking TD&E. That's pretty good. Good job. Are you a gematria supremacist?
I did ask him to stop doxing you.
Yeah, and they didn't stop. You asked them like 10 times, and we were telling them that too, and they didn't stop. And then they hooked up with the gematria prostitute to keep doing it like a true rat piece of trash.
Cut, stop following all these people. It's driving you nuts.
I mean, well, you're teaching fake gematria, which is pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty garbagey. You know what I mean? Are you a gematria supremacist?
What
How
is
can
fake
you
about it?
justify being a gematria supremacist? You know, you and Joseph Aquaviva do the exact same gematria, by the way, and you're
Right
better
on the
than
money. Hey,
him,
we'll
huh?
leave it right there, Cuts. See, he called you out, Joseph. He said we do the exact same, and he's right because you literally copy my work. Um, and you give all credit to yourself. I mean, to me, that's a pretty sleazy thing to do. Biter. 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 But you know what? Imitation is the highest form of flattery. I appreciate getting the word out there. I always try to put the silver lining on everything. Um, but yeah, I don't appreciate you coming here like this comment I have up on the screen. That never happened. So just more lying, more lying. What would Jesus do? You need one of those WWJD bracelets. Jesus didn't go around lying, copying, slandering. That wasn't part of the what would Jesus do thing. All right. Hey, come bring it, Joseph. Come on. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Blow the top off. Joseph, if you can come on and prove that you are the greatest decoder of all time, you know what? I'm getting old. Sweet lady, wouldn't mind if I retired anyway. Come on, man. Let's pass the torch to Joseph Aquaviva. Honestly, I don't know how you're going to decode it if I stop decoding since you just copy my post, but come on and tell us all about it. Come on, Living Waters. Let's see if we can get you and Cody on here at the same time. There's a theory that both of you guys, your channels are the same person. And again, people say it's because you guys talk the same, but it's because you both, my theory is it's because you both learn from me and you just emulate my speech. But you both put here, you guys, here's the only thing that Joseph's ever done that I don't do. Here's Joseph's favorite decode. You guys ready for it? He always, Joseph, I don't know how you say it with a straight face. He always goes, Barack Hussein Obama, Antichrist. or is it Barack Obama, Antichrist? Is that just what it is? What is it, Joseph? Is that the one? Barack Obama, Antichrist. Greatest decoder of all time. Barack Obama, Antichrist. Is that the one, Joseph? Was that the GOAT status? Joseph's only unique individual decode ever, right here. Barack Obama, Antichrist. That might have put your dad in an early grave. Sorry. Sorry, you might have been like, God, Joseph, will you stop at that? Sounds stupid as hell. Come on, links in the chat. Links in the chat, GOAT. Come on, GOAT. All right, Sweet Lady's gonna be mad if I don't wrap this up. But to hang out in the chat this long and not come in, I mean, again, you're here, Joseph. I'm gonna tell you, you're lucky. You're lucky that we're born into this world where so many people have been conditioned to just go with the flock. All they need to hear to get behind somebody is, "Oh, he believes in Jesus too." You know, if this world wasn't conditioned to that, you wouldn't have any friends. You'd have no friends. None. Zip, zero, nada. See, again, I mean, that's not really an insult. That's just like a lame comeback. All right, I'm one more minute. If he doesn't come on here, if he bows out, if he doesn't want his 5 minutes of talking time, Joseph, I'm going to give you 5 full minutes without interrupting. That is a promise. 5 full minutes. 5. All right, hold on. Should I put on the song "The Final Countdown"? How do I do the timer thing? Just watch it on the screen. Where's my stopwatch? All right, here we go. We got 1 minute for Joseph to hop on here. Joseph, come on, man. Don't tell me you didn't see the link. It's in the chat. Come on. 1 minute. 1 minute. Jay, it's the troll whose only original contribution to gematria decoding is writing out Barack Obama Antichrist. He thinks it's the pinnacle of decoding. He just declared him the greatest decoder. He just declared himself the greatest decoder of all time. The only contribution that's his own individual work is the phrase Barack Obama Antichrist. Come on, 5 minutes. Oh, come on, man. You're down to, oh, man, are you going to let this minute expire? Disappointing. Disappointing. Oh, boy. You guys, I've told you before, all of my haters, and all of my haters are like the same, aren't they? They all claim Jesus. I'm better than Zach because I believe in Jesus. Not even his real name. Not even his real name. But yeah, I mean, just they're all pussies. Like, how aren't you a pussy? You get ran off the church parking lot by 80-year-old men. Can't come in and have a debate. You'll talk shit. You'll slander a guy for 5 years. You'll feed your family off copying his knowledge while slandering his name. I mean, like, is that not the definition of evil? To steal, like literally in a way you're stealing, right? Because you're like stealing my work, claiming it is yours, and then not just doing that, but then slandering. You know? And have I not let you for years just post and advertise your work on my platform? I mean, I've just let you just keep posting your work. I've just let you do it. You know why I do that? Because I'm not a horrible human being. You know, I occasionally I tune in and I see how you're like begging your channel that this is how you feed your family. You make it seem like you just be all be starving and dying over there. Joseph, you know, I hope the rest of your family isn't as fat as you are. I hope you're not raising some little fatties. Because you're acting like you're starving, but you're way overweight. That's weird. Last time I checked, starving people aren't fat as hell. So, but hey, keep up with the Barack Obama Antichrist contribution. That's a good one. Okay, Barack Obama Antichrist. Thumbs up. You know, I wonder if you walk around with a bicycle helmet on. Special Olympian over there, Joseph Aquaviva. All right. All right. All right. We gave Joseph a chance. Sorry about your pops, though. Seriously, Joseph. That part is sad. You know, like I always say, even all these celebrities who sold their soul, no one deserves this. I hope, I hope what happened to your pops isn't the consequence of whatever you're doing. You know, trolling for 5 years. Sad like my shoulders. Joseph, the way you ran away from those 80-year-old men, I can only imagine what would happen if we had to square up on the street. You're scared of old, wrinkled men. We all saw it, huffing and puffing as you ran out of there. And then you even did on the street. You're like, oh my God, that was, what did you say? Did you see the way they were coming at me? Oh my God. Oh, Joseph. See, a guy like you just doesn't know when to quit, man. Talking shit and can't even come on the stream and defend yourself. Joseph, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I'm 5'10", but I used to be in a lot better shape back when I was closer to your age. You know, I want to start bragging about the weight room. I used to be put up some nice weight. Most I could bench in my lifetime was 335. That's not bad for weighing 170 pounds. That's what I weighed at the time. I could almost bench double my body weight. I never looked like a fat slob like you, Joseph. Fat, sloppy body, insufficient minds, another turd who thinks he's holier than thou because he believes in what was printed by the Romans, you know, to control the flock. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I've made my point. Joseph represents exactly what I'm saying with religious types. Just overwhelmingly not good people. Not good people. Joseph, you have no real defense of yourself. Stealing my work, using it to feed your family, and slandering my name. Pathetic. I'm not trying to stop you. Go ahead and continue to be a piece of shit. There's a lot of them on this earth. There's a lot of pieces of shit claiming to be about Jesus. You know, just so you know, Jesus. Just so you know, Jesus, man, you're not supposed to go through the world telling people they're going to burn in hell. To be a real Christian, you're not supposed to judge others. You're not supposed to cast stones. You do all these things. You falsely cast stones. You judge people. You lie about people. You slander. You make up stories. Like, I don't know in what way you represent anything Jesus taught. Your only real motivation to do the work is to make money. You beg for money in every stream you do. Are you doing anything with the money for the community? Are you doing anything with the world for the world with the money that you're raising? Are you hosting a platform for other people to avoid censorship and unite and network together? Are you going out and pounding pavement and doing giveaways to gather people? Joseph, I wouldn't be surprised if you've never helped out anyone in your life outside of your family. I'd guess you're that kind of person. I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't given $1 to anybody outside of your family in your life, Mr. Christian. What am I doing? Something unprecedented. Something that's raised a lot of sales, including yours. Again, don't come at me like, what am I doing? You're a clone of me, feeding your family off the knowledge. you know. And again, what's wrong with that? She's good at her job. People know about me because I share information. The reason people know that story is because I shared that story. And she is ideal in what she does in her profession. So, again, Joseph, you weren't even here when I put out that statement, and that statement was taken back when a major problem happened when we went to make our first hire. Our first hire ended up kind of being a fraud of a human being too, and it created a lot of bad dominoes. And we went a different way. We've been hosting an expensive platform so everyone can promote their work and organize a network. And you know what? The platform I've been spending the money on for all these years, in a way, I kind of regret it because what it's revealed is what's wrong with humanity. So few people are willing to organize and network and do anything. I mean, that's kind of one of the things that my website sadly has proven. And this might be the last year it exists. I just paid the huge annual renewal bill. You have to pay a huge annual renewal bill, and then there's a pretty expensive fee each month as well. And this might be the last year of hosting that website because, again, what one of the only people who's used it a lot is Joseph, and Joseph just uses it to promote his own work. It's amazing. Joseph will post videos on there slandering me. It's like, what a nice guy. Joseph comes on my platform, and now look at him repeating what the troll says, which is totally misleading. And it's like, a guy who, again, also uses my platform to promote himself. And I've let you do that. I don't think I drove people away. I think, for one reason or another, a lot of people end up listening to bad information. And again, I've had over 100 people in the decade I've been here come at me and make up all these stories about me. A lot of them have just vanished with time. They're out of here. I'm still here. Last man standing. Still doing the thing. Putting the truth out every day. Undeniable message. People still getting mad because they can't face the truth. They can't come around and leave their sheepish beliefs. If the politics won't, people hate me because I'm not part of their political party. I'm not part of their religious party. We're trying to break indoctrination, but it's a hard thing to do. A lot of people are just way too far under the spell. Okay. Again, hey, you guys, one more time, since Joseph won't come on and defend himself, do you think it's a coincidence? Joseph's father just died while Joseph is 33. Joseph begins every stream by going, short and simple gospel. Jesus came to this earth and lived a perfect 33 years. And now Joseph's 33 and his father's dead at a very specific number that has a lot to do with Jesus in this code of letters and numbers. And again, his father, born on the 35th day of the year. We know about that number with the Catholics. Dead on his 199th day of his age, the 46th prime. His obituary says he spent the majority of his life in St. Petersburg, which is named after St. Peter, which equates to 46, like sacrifice, going with Genesis 46. Religion. Joseph is a divider who uses religion as a weapon, comes on and attacks me because I'm not part of the religion. Joseph, show me, and again, you go to a church parking lot and start war with the Christians. I mean, in what world are like, who? Anyway, but religion and Catholic, both 46. That's where Joseph comes from. Family surname goes back to the 5th Superior General of the Jesuits, and now his dad's dead 5 days after the Jesuit order's birthday. 3 out of 4 years, the death anniversary of his father is going to fall 201 days from the death anniversary of Claudio Acquaviva, the 5th Superior General of the Jesuits. And that means his last day on earth this year was 201 days after that anniversary. Last full day on this earth. Funny enough, his name equals 95, like the Jesuits created to counter the 95 Theses. Gives birth to a son who's a troll, who comes on the scene, almost like some sleeper cell agent. He goes from doing a Tampa Bay Buccaneers advertising to trolling the guy who's exposing the Jesuits after Event 201. And now, again, he's in his 5th year of trolling and this happens. It's weird. Again, Pops is gone at 61. The false name of the supposed Son of God, Jesus, 61, like cross, like church, like Christian, like Christmas. Dead on the 283rd day of the Superior General's age, the 61st prime. Dead in Fort Pierce. Right, Joseph? You gave us that tip, right? He actually died in Fort Pierce. Those are your words. That's weird, too. Died in Fort Pierce at 61. Perfectly synced with the current Superior General. And run it the other way. Fort Pierce like Aquaviva. I mean, Joseph, if you were doing this decode, wouldn't you say this is undeniable? And then you do a pause and remind people that you're feeding your family, and this is the only way you feed your family. And again, whose favorite number is 222 other than you? It's weird. Superior General 222. And again, I mean, isn't it all just it's too weird, Joseph? It's all too weird. A logical person would say, well, if trolls are going to be employed to harass Zach from exposing what's going on with the Jesuits, wouldn't you think those trolls would have something to do with the Jesuit network? Dad's dead on 72 date numerology. Your dad's dead 409 years after the Superior General Aquaviva, the 80th prime, dead on the 80th meridian. And see, this is the reason you're not very smart too, Joseph, because you said it wasn't Vero Beach, it was Fort Pierce. Well, I didn't make any point about the gematria Vero Beach, which is what it says in his obituary, but they both have the same coordinates. The point was just the coordinates. We see this a lot in the weird deaths, but the coordinates have something to do with it. 409 is the 80th prime. It's 409 years later. Again, in what way aren't you satanic, Joseph? In what way aren't you satanic? You're a self-worshiper. You're in the chat saying you're the greatest decoder of all time. That's a weird thing to say when you just copy me. I mean, did you figure out any of this stuff? No. The only original thing that you do is write Barack Obama Antichrist. I mean, and that's stupid. So, and I also find it weird that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, listen, Do they not do Skull and Bones tributes with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all the time? Because you're right. Your dad died in a leap year, so he died 202 days after the anniversary, and we know Skull and Bones is 202. For years, we've been showing how they do 202 rituals with the Tampa Bay Bucks, old Skull and Bones. And literally, you're on their website. So is this just all a coincidence? I mean, I gave you a million opportunities to come on here and defend yourself. There's Joseph. Joseph, here, one more thing I got to say, Joseph. I grew up in a time when people had tattoos. Everybody has tattoos now. They're like just a trendy thing. And by the way, in the Bible, it says, thou shalt not desecrate the flesh. I don't have any tattoos. But I grew up in a time when guys who had tattoos, they were usually in gangs or they got them in prison. Usually tough guys had tattoos. Now you just see all these pussies have tattoos. And you're part of that stereotype. Getting chased off the church parking lot by 80-some-year-old men who were just talking shit to your face like you were some little bitch. Can't even come in here and defend yourself. You know, RIP to your dad, but he raised a pussy. Your dad raised a serious pussy. And for all of your flock that supports you, doesn't mean anything. A flock of sheep ain't worth shit. So. Anyway, I'm going to go spend time with Sweet Lady. Sweet Lady's a nice one. I bet if we looked at your lady, she's a fat slob just like you too, Joseph. And I don't mean to rub your face in shit, but you deserve it. I'd bet anything your woman is busted as hell and a fat slob just like you. Truth hurts, doesn't it? Your words don't do shit to me because they're just empty. You're sitting here crying, trying to come at me all day. Why do you even start something? Why you start talking shit in the chat room? Are you following me around? I wasn't even talking to you. Loser. Loser. Thank you, Dante. Thank you. I appreciate it. Joseph's an idiot. He doesn't know his place. He will keep coming back and embarrassing himself. Look at this guy. You almost think he's tough right there, sitting on his ass watching the Bucks. Meanwhile, rewind the tape. I got it up. Search his name on my channel. I got the footage of him getting chased off the church parking lot. Puss. Oh, hold on. Right when I'm about to get off. Hold on. Is this him? Is this the Joseph Aquaviva?
Hello?
Is this him? Oh, it's him. Look at that. Congrats on coming on. All right, you get 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Joseph. I'm going to put the timer up, and I'm going to shut up. Your time starts now.
Well, Zach, it's your claim, right? So I'll just answer any questions you have. Go ahead. Fire away, man.
No, you can respond to everything. 5 minutes. I'm going to be quiet.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to say? Number one, your decode's full of shit, and your headline's completely misleading because your headline says that he died 201 days after the guy's death date, which is a lie. It was 202 days. So your headline's misleading. All right. Number two, he's not a senior. All right. So you got that wrong. Your whole video was wrong. Okay. Completely wrong. It wasn't 201 days. He's not a senior. He didn't die in Vero Beach. You don't know shit, dude. You don't even know what he died from. You have no clue about anything. And you're just up here running your mouth because we were both in the same chat today. And you asked me a question. You said, was it you who told Franchot Pearson to not work with me? And I said, yeah, Zach, I'll own that. I'll be honest. That was me. And that was it. Now, literally, Zach, like 2 weeks ago, were you not doing a live stream? And I came in the chat dropping some numbers about monkeypox. And you were like, oh, great catch, Joseph. And you put it on the screen. And we had a little back and forth. And I told you I haven't talked about you in years. And yeah, Zach, I used to talk about you. But that was years ago, dude. I don't talk about you. And yes, Zach, I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot about 201 of the Jesuits from you. I did not hear about Gematria from you. I learned about that in an article from Troy Brewer. The article is called 222 is After You. The article was written years ago. I've never read your books, Zach. Like, you should at least appreciate that there's somebody out here sharing the knowledge. You want to say, I steal everything from you and I copy your style. Yeah, I learned a lot from you, Zach. So can't you just appreciate that there's a guy out here sharing the knowledge? At least when it comes to the Jesuits. Okay, I think we're living in the end times. I believe in Jesus. I think Obama's the Antichrist. Okay, then let me stay in my lane on that, dude. At least appreciate, the good stuff I bring to the table. I mean, come on, Zach, you going to show them the post on your website of mine from 5 years ago where I was talking about 222 and you put it on your website? It's like, come on, man. 5 years of going back and forth. I haven't talked about you in years. I was being honest with you. I thought we squashed the beef. And I mean, that's really all I got to say, man. I really don't have anything against you, Zach. I've learned from you. Like I'm not a shill, dude. I didn't kill my dad. If you want to know the truth, my dad is a drug addict, man. That's why I grew up. My parents lost custody of me when I was 7. I lived with an aunt from 7 to 10. I lived with my grandpa from 10 to 12. Then I went into foster care for a year. Then I lived with my grandma for 4 years. All right. My dad, I don't know his cause of death, but he likely died from years of drug use and, probably, heart failure. I don't know, man. I mean, you can look it up. My dad's got mug shots for years. He's been in and out of jail my whole life. All right. I didn't kill my dad. What would I accomplish by killing my dad? Well, I'm not a celebrity. I have no subs. By the way, they deleted both of my channels for no reason. Between my 2 channels, I had 1 strike on the 2 channels. You got to get 3 strikes in a 90-day period. And so they just completely deleted my channels. And then a few days later, my dad died. And that's where we're at, dude. Like, I'm doing my best to get out the work. I know you don't agree with me on, obviously, the Jesus part. And yeah, I know there were no J's, right? So his name wasn't Jesus. It was Yeshua. And then you want to say, oh, well, Jesus is 74 like Lucifer 74. Well, wasn't Lucifer like made perfect? Right? And didn't he fall and then he became Satan and all that? So, dude, it's not just like, okay, Lucifer 74, Jesus 74. The whole thing's made up. The way I look at it, we're in some kind of like a biblical matrix, man. That's the way I look at it. And you don't have to agree with that. That's fine. I don't understand the hate for me, dude, when like I said, I haven't talked about you in years. Like I did talk about you in the past. That's true. But like I said, man, you can ask me anything you want. I'll give you an honest answer. I've learned a lot from you over the years, man. I really wish we could just squash this beef, And like I said, just a week ago, it might have been 2 weeks ago when you were out there, pounding pavement, you put my comment up there and I told you I haven't talked about you in a long time and I thought we were good until today in the chat. And again, I know I'm about to hit the 5 seconds. If you want to give me like 20 more seconds. Again, today in Franchot's chat, I wasn't bragging. You asked me if it was me. And Zach, the only reason why it got heated after that is because you started dropping sacrifice numbers about my dad in the chat, saying that the 199, the 46 prime and all this stuff. And Zach, let's pretend I didn't really kill my dad,
Okay.
which I didn't. Don't you think that's messed up, Zach?
20 extra seconds. All right. That's not true. See, you're a dishonest person, Joseph. I'm
really not, Zach.
Joseph.
If I'm dishonest, why am I up here letting you ask me any question you want?
No. This guy is full of shit, you guys. What he just said, no. You said you're going to block me when I asked you to make an apology video. And when you started writing other shitty comments in the chat, and then that's when I brought up the thing about your dad. So again, your order of what happened is totally false. And anybody can go into Franchot's chat and see the order of comments and see what really happened. See, you're just a dishonest person. Also acting like, oh, I haven't been doing anything. Just like Charmed One called you out for. We see you in the trolls chats talking shit all the time. The thing with Franchot that you broke up was what, a year and a half ago? You're working out there all the time to instigate problems. When you first came on the scene, all you did was made bullshit videos saying I was a shill and making up all this stuff, nonstop crap, what other people have already done. I mean, there's another troll that came out of the woodwork doing the same thing, carrying on the tradition of a call for an uprising and retard from Boston and 1,000 others, all who claim to be Jesus people. Again, there's been a train of you trolls, and you all do the same thing and make up the same lies. And then just right now, like you're like, oh, I mean, we've been cool. We've never been cool. A real man would apologize if he knew he was wrong. And again, don't downplay how significant what I do is to what you clone. There's only one thing that you've ever added to the work, and it's Barack Obama Antichrist. Okay? That's the only thing original that you've brought, and it's stupid. It's literally stupid. It's the 2009 YouTube fake Christian truth movement where, oh, Obama's a black president, so he must be the devil. It's that. That's your contribution to echo back on that and pick up on those weirdos that are still out there. That's it. And again, anybody can watch Franchot's live stream and see the order of how things went. And when I asked you to make an apology video for all the slanders you did, you said, I'm going to block you. And then I think you did because I couldn't see any of your comments anymore for the rest of the stream. But I could tell people were interacting with you. I could see their comments. I was like, oh, interesting. When he blocks me, I can't see his comments anymore. So, again, just dishonest. And again, I never said he killed your dad. And in the video I made, I said, maybe it's all a coincidence. But I said, it looks super suspect. Man, it does. It looks super suspect. And I never said that he died 201 days. I said 3 out of 4 years, his death anniversary will be 201 days from the superior generals, which is true. Exactly what I said. When I speak honestly. And again, the 202 days later is skull and bones. We both know that. 202 is not a slouch of a number. And they do skull and bones rituals with your favorite football team down there. And your dad's died right as football season's getting underway. And you do have an article on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers website. And again, I for years, I've wondered where you trolls come from. And for me to refer to you anything other than a troll would be dishonest to me. So I'll let you respond. And if it's just nothing but bullshit and lies, I guess I don't know why I would expect anything else. I mean, that's what you've done at the beginning. Just make up lies about me. Unsubstantiated lies. You know, I spent my birthday driving 3 hours each direction to go educate Seattle about the suppression of the Jesuits on that day and what the Jesuits are up to. And in all the hours of recording, at one point when I was thinking to answer a question, I put my hands together for a second. And then, oh, here's Joseph Aquaviva. He's got the video with the freeze frame where I put my hands together. He's like, ooh, look, Zach's doing the Illuminati pose. It's just like, dude, I mean, like, it's like the only recognition you get for spending your birthday 6 hours on the road and pounding pavement. The only recognition that comes in is a Joseph Aquaviva bullshit video. So here, Joseph, one more chance and I got to wrap this thing up.
All right. A few things. Number one, any of the football stuff. Yeah, I used to be a big NFL fan. I was a Buccaneers season ticket holder until 2019. I haven't been to a game. I don't support it. I expose it the best I can. So any connections between me and the Buccaneers and all that, I mean, and I was picked at random that day, you know. And you know what? Here's one, Zach, for you. If you want to share this with your people, here's an organic synchronicity. Joseph Aquaviva equals Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2 ciphers. All right. But I got pictures of me with Buccaneer shirt on as, you know, a little kid. You know, that's just the organic side. You know, there's an organic side. All right. So, you know, there's the football connection. Like, I have nothing to hide, Zach. If I had something to hide, I wouldn't come up here and tell you my name equals Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know? And then my other thing is,
I got to ask you, Joseph, do you find it weird that you start every stream by saying Jesus lived a perfect 33 years when, again, there's no mention anywhere in the Bible that Jesus even lived for 33 years. That's not in the Bible anywhere. So you're first of all, you're doing a false gospel. Are you 33 years old right now?
Yeah, I am.
Don't you find that weird that your father dies in this perfect Jesuit ritual while you're 33?
Well, number one, it wasn't a Jesuit ritual because he died with my mom, like, just feet from him. They literally ordered some food and then he just passed out and died. Dude, you don't even know the details of it, man. So how are you going to sit there and say it was a Jesuit ritual? You don't even know, like, he was on life support for days and like how are you going to sit there, man? And it just whatever, man. If you want to believe it was a Jesuit ritual, you can believe that, man. But my question to you, Zach, is how do we go from here as, you know, mature adults and, you know, stop this drama.
You're not a mature adult.
Okay. Oh, well, you know what, Zach? I want to be a mature adult right now.
Videos. Spend the next 5 years making videos saying I owe Zachary K. Hubbard everything because I've been feeding my family off his knowledge and slandering his name and using his platform to promote my shit. Spend the next 5 years doing that, and then you'll make up for what you did the last 5 years.
Are you going to apologize for saying my dad was sacrificed?
I said I didn't know for sure.
Well,
I still don't know for sure. You just talked a whole bunch of shit about your dad. Didn't sound like you had much respect for him.
All I said was my dad was a drug addict most of his life, and
didn't sound very respectful. Didn't sound like you had a lot of love for him. Sound like maybe you would have made an agreement.
No, I'm just being honest. I'm just telling you the truth. So now, again, I'm up here because you asked me to come up here. You can ask me any question you want. So fire away. Anybody in the chat? Y'all got any questions?
Will you spend the next 5 years undoing what you did for the last 5 years? Will you spend the next 5 years apologizing and promoting?
Are you saying I don't expose the Jesuits at all, Zach?
No. Will you spend?
I'm pretty sure between me and you, I expose the Jesuits. If you're the #1 guy at exposing the Jesuits, right? I got to be in the top 10 if I copy you and I copy everything you do and talk about 201. I mean.
So again, I'm asking you a question. If the question is, will you spend the next 5 years apologizing, you know, every day in a video instead of wasting time with Jesus 33 years, which isn't in the gospel anywhere?
No, Zach, because I'm not going to bow down and kiss your feet, dude. I'm trying to be respectful and come up here.
So you'll hate and slander and lie and steal and copy, but you won't do the right thing. So as someone who left the church,
you want me to apologize to you for 5 years?
Joseph. Yeah, why not? You'll slander for 5 years. Why not apologize for the next 5 years?
I haven't slandered you for 5 years. I just told you I haven't talked about you in years, dude.
Joseph, you go in other places talking shit all the time. We see your comments. You're in the chat today like, yeah, I did break up the franchise thing. And then
you asked me if I did, and I said, yes, I did. I'll own that.
So, but then you're trying to act like you haven't been trying to tear down.
Dude, I said I have not been your biggest fan over the years, and I said you were a shill and all this stuff. I admit that. I have nothing to hide, dude.
In the first place, how did that happen in the first place? Since I never did.
Probably because you bash Christians and Jesus, man. And I'm like, who's this guy exposing evil? But he's bashing
Christians, deservedly so, because there's a lot of bad ones. There's a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, that's true. There is a lot of bad ones out there.
You're one of them.
I don't believe that, man. I've done nothing but speak the truth, man.
Your behavior reveals that you're a bad person.
What behavior have I done? You're the one insinuating I had something to do with my dad's death.
Make up shit about him and not apologize.
Zach, I apologize right now for anything bad I have ever said to you.
No.
Right now.
No.
But you want me to do some big theatrical video? Right. What do you want from me, Zach? What do you want from me besides doing apology videos for the next 5 years?
Instead of starting every video with your bullshit gospel,
I'm still gonna do the gospel, Zach. You're not gonna talk me out of preaching the truth.
What's the point of lying about Jesus' perfect 30?
I'm not lying. We're in the end times, Zach, and you better figure that out quick, dude.
We're not, Joseph. We're not.
That's gonna be on you, man. Can't say you weren't warned.
Okay, trust me, Joseph. In the 11 years I've been here, I've heard it 1,000 times. Joseph. You'll slander, lie, cheat, steal.
I don't slander. I don't lie. I don't steal. Zach, I mean, if I had a channel with any videos left on it, I would show you there. I don't have videos about you, man. Like, I don't. It seems to me like you're just trying to come up with some drama on your channel because, like, your views are down. You're getting 400 views. I see your views, Zach. I see you getting 400 views these days.
Well,
you're getting desperate is what it seems like. You drove everyone away. Where's Rambo? What happened to Rambo? Where's all the good callers at? What happened to everybody?
Rambo.
How come you can't go out to New York anymore? Because you have no more support, Zach. You've driven everyone away.
Hold on. Have you been out to New York?
What? With what?
Closer to New York. You're in Florida. It's not even that far of a drive from there. Why don't you go out to New York for 9/11?
Because you know why, Zach? Because pounding pavement is a waste of time. That's why.
Is it?
Go ask Paul Unslaved about pounding pavement. See what he says about it.
Why does it matter what he thinks?
Oh, I watch your interactions with Paul Unslaved. It's pretty hilarious the way he throws you around.
He doesn't throw me around. Paul Unslaved.
No, you only get thrown around. You only get thrown around in real life, right? You only get thrown around in real life.
No.
No? Oh, there's not a video of you getting thrown around and bear sprayed?
bear sprayed and jumped by Antifa. I mean, that's
Looked like one dude threw you down like a rag doll, but that's a different story,
He
man.
didn't throw me down like a rag
I know
doll.
you're real tough.
I know
you're tough, Zach.
Joseph,
Mr. 150 pounds, Zach.
Lying. This shows you, like, you guys, this is why I don't like Christians. So, Joseph, in that scenario, a gentleman was getting jumped by Antifa who had weapons, and he didn't do anything, and they were lying about him, and they had him down on the ground, and had I not gone in there and pulled that guy off who was about 6'6", 350.
Way bigger than you, right?
Joseph.
You're just a little guy, right, Zach? I know you didn't play football in high school.
Well, I did play football growing up, actually.
No, you didn't. Would you play when you were like 5 years old? You were the punter, right, Zach?
No, I was a receiver and a quarterback, actually. Pitcher, shortstop. I was a pretty good athlete, Joseph. I guarantee you I'd outshine you on any sports field, even though I'm 8 years older than you. I guarantee I'd embarrass your ass on a basketball court, you fat fucking slob.
I bet you wouldn't embarrass me in a boxing match.
Listen up, Joseph. You're talking shit. I went into a dangerous situation to protect.
Come on, Zach. Let's do a celebrity boxing match for charity. Come on, Zach. Come down to Florida. Celebrity boxing match for charity.
I would fight
you, Joseph.
I guarantee
Who's the PUSSY, Zach? Come on, Zach. Come on, let's do it.
Joseph.
Do it.
Joseph. We can do that. But hold on.
You won't do it. You won't show up anywhere, dude. You won't show up. You won't even come. You won't come talk in Florida. Guarantee.
Listen to this fat fucking loser. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, we went out and gave books to Antifa, and we did clear him out from Powell's Books in Portland because it was the national news story at the time. We got him out of there. We were the ones left standing, and we were there after they cleared out. And we were there the next day. We cleared Antifa out of Powell's Books. But there, if you guys do not know what he's talking about, this is a troll right here. And just like Paul Enslaved, total fucking loser troll. Looks like he has Down syndrome, jealous pocket watching Paul, just like you. But again, what happened was a dude got jumped. He got blindsided. And again, the dude who came out there was a mauler. He was about 6'6", 350. And it wasn't just him. It was other people. But when that guy went down because he got blindsided, the other guy was about to get on top of him. And I tried to de-escalate the situation the best I could. I used my body to get on top of him and keep him from mauling him while he was on top. But then I was pulling back a guy who's 6'6", 350. And when he finally flung back, momentum, I went backwards. Yeah, but did I stay down? No, I got up right away. I did smash my knee into the curb on the concrete. So that's what they make fun of, because when I got up, I looked a little bit hobbled. Well, when you go flying from a 6'6", 350 momentum, you're pulling this way. But again, I went right back in there because they were getting back on him. And then the Antifa came in and bear sprayed me in the face. Now, you're going to make fun of me for that? Where's your video of being out on the street breaking up Antifa and then also helping a dude from getting mauled and taking bear spray in the face? And you want to talk shit about that? After I got bear sprayed in the face, I stayed out there for about another 4 hours. Listen, you got chased off a parking lot by 80-some-year-old men. I didn't let a group of Antifa chase me off the block. I stayed right there on the corner the whole time. Okay? So, hold on. Where is your rebuttal?
Hey, Zach, how about that Josh Shapiro VP video you deleted the next day because you were wrong?
It's still up.
Oh, what happened? Sports Gematria already showed that, dude. You said Josh Shapiro would be the VP.
No, I did misspeak. I said it didn't matter who she picked. They were all 60. But I said, well, if they're doing it in Philly, it would seem dumb to have the Minnesota governor be the guy in Philly. That was a misspeak. That's not a big deal. How about all the dead-on predictions about what would happen when Kamala's 5981, nailing earthquake predictions and a million other things, sports future. See, that's what a troll does. Just says, oh, he got one thing wrong. I'm going to ignore the last 20 things he got right. I mean, you guys can't. Does this sound like a guy who's apologizing? No, this is a fucking loser. And this is another supposed Christian. I mean, this is a scumbag. Dude, again. And this is why, and the way you just talked about your dad, like he was some piece of shit, I'm starting to think that, yeah, this actually makes even more sense, I think. His dad's dead at 61, starts trolling me when we're exposing the Jesuits, and now his dad's dead, perfectly synced with the Superior General, when he's got the family surname of a Jesuit. Joseph, explain the coincidence of the 5th Superior General being Aqua Viva and your dad being dead 5 days after their birthday. Coincidence?
Well, number one, if you Google the name Aquaviva, you'd see there's about 1 million people with that last name. It's a very common name in Italy. Aqua.
There's only one trolling. There's only one trolling in the world, and it's you.
Are you not the one who made a video insinuating that I had my dad killed?
That's not what I insinuated.
Oh, no, you just made a whole video and you've been talking about it all day, posted on Twitter, but you're not insinuating anything like that. I'm only up here talking to you because you're not
part of the order. That's what I said.
Dude, are you mentally ill?
No.
I literally think you are mentally ill or just
again. You guys, there is a troll network. See, like even how he's referencing Paul Unslaved. I mean, Paul Unslaved's a troll. Paul Unslaved sits online, belittles people, also acts like he's a spiritual guy. His claim to fame is going on High Impact Flicks after supposedly he got out of a Denver police situation. But again, just a total loser. I mean, that's what I mean, you guys. There's a network of shills and trolls on YouTube. They all work together, and they all have the one common purpose of slandering pretty much the only guy who's worth a shit on this platform. That's yours truly, the only guy who's actually exposing anything, the only guy who's bringing any real knowledge out here and exposing anything. And then you have this guy who copies my work, but then makes it dumb. Instead of pointing to what's really going on, he's like, Barack Obama Antichrist. It's like, this is embarrassing. But yeah, Joseph, seriously, I would love to have a boxing match with you. I'm put you on your fat ass. I can just only imagine how slow you are. And again, we saw the way you were huffing and puffing running from 80-year-old men. I mean, I'm not even in shape right now. I know I wouldn't have any problem with you. God. You know what, Neo? What's even the point of having you around either? I agree, but again, I also want to make a point about just all these piece of shit Christians. What's with all the piece of shit Christians? We don't need Neo the hacker around here anymore either with his constant negativity reign. The only time you come in a stream is when you might think there might be drama, Neo. You don't even support any of the good videos. Just Neo always in here to go like, oh, what's even the point of doing this work? The world's over. Here, fuck off too, Neo. So we'll clear out all the trash. Neo the hacker, I'm going to throw you in the group. You've been trash for over 2 years. Nothing but negativity from you too. Yeah, exactly. Here's another Christian piece of shit on the internet. I mean, tell me, you guys, for the supposed Joseph Aquaviva fans, what about this guy doesn't sound like a sack of shit to you? Mocking, lying, making fun of, cheating, stealing? Dude, you would never confront Antifa in your life. And I guarantee you wouldn't have done what I did to help out that guy because you would have said, I don't even know him. You would have ran away. I wasn't going to let some dude who just showed up get jumped for no reason. Okay? Those dudes had the police batons and everything. You would have ran so fast away, it wouldn't even have been funny. Okay? I went right into the belly of the beast to make sure the dude who showed up didn't just get his ass beat for no reason. And he did get up and handle himself, but he would not have got up if I had not gone in there and pulled off, you know, the mauler. And you can go back and see what that guy was doing in Portland. That guy was creating a lot of fights that whole summer in 2020. And I'm sure that guy played college football somewhere. Again, 6'6", 300. You're 350 probably. You're not that big, Joseph. We already know that. Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Most Christians are not Christian. Most Christians are shitty people. And again, it's a fake religion, you guys. So why would you expect anything other than fake people to be behind it? It is something to prey on the weak. That's what religion is, just like government. Government preys on the weak. Religion preys on the weak. Look at all the religious people that dupe children into their place and then they rape them. I understand that some people are good that go in the church and they feed the homeless and they build homes in impoverished places. I get that. You know, that's the kind of person that I wanted to be in the church before I left the thing. But there's so much scumbaggery in the church. And Joseph is a shining example. A Call for an Uprising is a shining example. Richie from Boston is a shining example. Paul Unslaved is a shining example. all the other supposed Christian douches who've attacked me for doing something authentic and honest. Again. So Joseph came on, and again, Joseph exposed who he is. You know, I haven't seen him doing any grieving either. There is something really suspect about his father's death being so perfectly synced. Again, Joseph, one chance to defend yourself. You did come on and start trolling the work when I was really exposing the Jesuits. That's when you started attacking me, and now we're just looking at what happened to your father at age 61. It's harder to get more. I mean, 61, you could argue, is the pinnacle number with the church and Christianity and the fake name Jesus. And not only is he dead at 61, but on the 283rd day of the Superior General's age, you got the same, sir. I mean, look at it all. Fort Pierce, Aqua Viva. Did your dad live in Fort Pierce? Why did he die there? Closing remarks to defend yourself, Joseph.
Am I finally unmuted?
All right. Closing remarks. I gave you 5 minutes.
What do I have to benefit by my dad being killed? How does that benefit me?
I'm not saying it was your choice.
Okay, then if I'm no threat to them, then why would they kill my dad?
I don't know.
They killed my dad because I slandered you?
The argument is you're some kind of...
You're saying the Jesuits killed my dad because I slandered you? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying...
If I'm no threat, if I'm not a threat, right?
Here, this guy should just stop with this whole YouTube channel. If you're going to talk about all the suspicious deaths in the world of celebrity in this network, I mean, you should understand the same thing. I don't think what actor wants their parents to die? It's like you're part of something is what it looks like. Again, being used for Tampa Bay Buccaneer articles, trolling me. Again, I mean, you have to be a hardcore coincidence theorist to just think all this is an accident. You know, while you're 33, you're the weirdo that starts every video with a fake gospel teaching. There's nowhere in the Bible that says Jesus lived a perfect 33 years. There's zero place in the Bible that says he died at 33. Zero. There's nowhere it says he lived a perfect life. You don't even know what he did from age 12 to 30. That's not in the Bible. So why are we claiming he had a perfect life? We don't even know about 18 years of his existence. We know that his ministry began at age 30. That's what we know. Yeah, he drives a truck with a big Bucks logo on it. Yeah, he does. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be a smart bet too. Fat Boy's not going to do anything. I guarantee this dude doesn't know how to throw hands. No, and the trolls, they all love that when I got jumped by Antifa. But it was just like, it just shows you how pathetic they are. These cowardly trolls, the only thing Joseph's got is he puts his face on the screen. That's the only thing. And I think it's just because he's dumb. I don't think it's a brave thing. I think it's just like he's too dumb to know better. All right, here, one other thing, Joseph. Why accuse Sweet Lady of being a tranny? What's the point in that? One last thing. Why accuse Sweet Lady of being a tranny? Like, again, how you just make up shit. One last thing. Why do you do that?
Well, most likely, Zach, because you're probably a tranny, so it makes sense that you would be with one. I mean, look at your shoulders, Zach. Look at your shoulders, bro.
I'm normal size, 5'10", 165.
You look a little shook at that, bro. You look like you don't know what to say about that.
I just responded. I said I'm a normal size human being, 5'10", 165.
I'd say you're a little below normal size for a male.
I mean, my wingspan.
I don't know what kind of men they got over there in Seattle, Washington area, but you're not like most men, dude. You're scrawny and small.
Have you ever seen me chased off the block anywhere I've been?
No, I saw you thrown around like a rag doll. That's what I said earlier, but you don't know how to listen.
But that's misleading. I wasn't throwing around. It was my own momentum. I'm pulling the guy off the other dude.
Right.
That is right. That is right.
What else, Zach? You got anything else, man?
Hold on. Joseph, true or false? You got chased off the parking lot by old men at a church. You're getting in a fight with Christians on a church parking lot. You said to him, I will stay here and get arrested. But then when they threatened to call the police, you got out of there real fast and you were huffing and puffing. True or false?
What's true is they told me to leave, and I disobeyed that and kept passing out my flyers. And then 4 of them asked me to leave, and I was done with my flyers anyways. So I was heading back to my car.
It's all on video. It's all. See, you're a liar.
Oh no, that video got deleted. My channels get deleted, unlike yours, Zach.
I have your video still up on my channel. I have it all recorded on my channel. Remember?
Cool. Show us the video of you getting thrown out like a rag doll too.
Hey, people can go back and look at that and be the judge.
Did you want me to throw hands with the 4 elderly men at the church, Zach? What did you want me to do? You wanted me to wait for the cops and fight the cops, Zach?
You said, I will gladly get arrested here. And then when they put the phone up to their ear, you instantly got in your truck and drove off, and then you explained how scary that was.
I did not say it was scary. That's a lie.
Well,
I said that was ridiculous.
I'd have to go back and look, but it was funny the way you phrased it. Like, did you see the way?
Zach, why do I trigger you so bad that you got to make videos about me insinuating that I killed my dad? Like, why do I trigger you that? Are you jealous?
I made about you in 5 years.
Are you jealous that I'm a better decoder than you? Is that what it is?
No, nobody would agree with that, Joseph. You copy me.
Yeah, except every single person on my channel. Right? Why did they delete my channel for no reason with 19,000 subs, Zach? Why did I get to 19,000 subs? If I'm so full of crap, why was I getting, sometimes just the same amount of viewers you get? And how come? I mean,
that again, that's YouTube algorithm.
Explain that. It's a whole. Your audience is nothing but atheists, or not atheists. They believe in a God, but they think Jesus.
Again, every video I post these days starts off with about 20 likes and 0 views. So obviously, we know the views aren't real. I mean, I'm not even. Yeah, the algorithms destroyed everyone doing this work. But again, for anyone who thinks this is a good human being, you can't convince the believers of anything. Like the indoctrinated sheep, they're just going to keep sticking to other people, and they're like, oh well, he believes in Jesus, so I like him, even though he's a total piece of shit human being. But no, I mean, this guy is the definition of a coward. He wants to talk shit about. Listen, if you have not done anything like this, you cannot judge somebody else. Do you understand physics? If you're pulling on a dude who weighs 300 some pounds, if he finally uses his momentum and flings back hard, you're going to fall backwards. That's what happened. Okay. Again, you wouldn't have been in there. You would not have been in there. We both know that. And if that did happen to you, I guarantee you wouldn't have gone back like I did. I went back in there to protect my man again, even though I just met him. So, yeah. And yeah, that's what's crazy too, is when that happened, I mean, how many videos were made on YouTube? Like, it just shows you how many haters I have out there. There were like 20 people at the time that were playing that clip and like, oh, look what happened to Zach. And it's just like, God, what a shitty world we live in. Who are these people? Just like people you didn't even know existed, just making videos about it. It's like, So again, we know a lot of people are out there watching, Joseph, and you're kind of showing too just how much of what you've actually exposed about yourself is just like, how are you even aware, like everywhere that I am? I mean, I'm in Franshaw Pearson's chat today. You get in there and start talking shit. You're talking about Paul Unslaved. Are you just like everywhere where I'm having an interaction with somebody? How are you aware of all of these things? That looks super suspect. So again, you're just exposing yourself. It's something about this troll network. Somehow they get notifications. They know where to go. Yeah, stalker. Exactly. That's the word. It's like, and I don't even know how to stalk somebody online. How do you know like where they are? How do you know like when somebody's having a discussion with somebody else in some other stream, unless you're, I wouldn't even know how to follow all that. So yeah, I got to get the answer to that question before we wrap it up. How are you e-stalking me? Like, how do you know all these things? Paul Unslaved has a small channel. He gets like 1,000 views. So what are the odds you would be in there too? I call him Pocket Watch Paul. Pocket Watch Paul. Another jealous hater. I got so many jealous haters, it's funny. What's up, Joseph, who I pay the bills for? How do you know that? How do you stalk me everywhere?
Well, number one, let's talk about Franshaw Pearson. I did about over probably 10 shows with the guy, live shows. All right. So it would make sense that I would be in his chat. All right. So you think it's weird that me and you were in Franchot Pearson's chat at the same time?
I don't know. You weren't in
Like-
there at first, and I was leaving comments. You came in like after a while.
Oh wow, that's so crazy, Zach. You were in there first, and then I came in. Oh, conspiracy, man. Why don't you decode it, bro? What
Okay,
time did
all
I come? What time did I come in the chat, Zach?
Answer Pocket Watch Paul. What's up with Pocket
Well,
Watch Paul?
okay. Number one, you were disingenuous saying Paul has a small channel. He's got one channel with 22. He's got 22,000 on one channel, but you're not going to mention that. You're not going to mention that he had a video with over 1 million views.
That's a small
right?
channel.
And then how come you keep wanting to work with him, Zach? How come you keep saying we should work together, and then Paul's got to put you in your place,
He doesn't
like
put
the
me
little
in my
bitch
place.
you are?
He doesn't put me in my place.
That's not what I see.
Well, who cares what you see? Paul doesn't let anybody speak. He just mutes. He just mutes and talks shit.
Oh, like you muted me like 50 times
I
tonight.
gave you 5 minutes to talk. Paul would never do that for anybody.
Yeah, after inviting me to come up on your show to give you some fucking likes and shares, you fucking faggot bitch.
Uh-oh, sound like a Christian. You sound so Christian. So
Not
again,
perfect. Not perfect.
Answer the question. How are you aware of when Pocket Watch Paul and I are having an interaction when he streams every day?
Because I watch his fucking shows, you dumb motherfucker.
So you watch that guy's channel as a Christian?
Yeah, I do. He's actually got some balls, unlike you.
He doesn't even ever go out and pound pavement.
And you know what, Zach? Paul's not a Christian either. He talks shit about Jesus too, but at least he's a real one with some fucking balls. Unlike you, you little government bitch.
Wait, how does he have any balls?
How does he have any balls? Let's see, he travels without fucking plates and insurance and gets arrested regularly.
That's having balls?
For standing up for what's true and right, unlike you.
How is it having balls driving around on without plates? Like, it's just stupid.
Dude, I'm not here to talk about Paul Enslaved, dude.
Well,
you asked me how I know about you because I watched the dude.
You brought it up.
Okay, and then you asked me a follow-up question, so I answered it. Dude, you're fucking retarded, man. You are seriously a retarded person, man.
Well, I find it weird that a guy who has, how many kids do you have?
I got 4 kids.
So that's what I find weird. A guy with 4 kids and a family has all this time to e-stalk somebody online?
Yeah, it's because I'm a great decoder, motherfucker, and people support that work. That's why. That's why I can do this full time for 5 years. Because I am the best fucking decoder in the world.
All right. Barack Obama, Antichrist.
You want to talk about Obama? Let's talk about Obama, motherfucker. Let's talk about it, bitch.
Hey,
you want me to drop some facts? Go ahead, give me 5 more minutes, motherfucker. Give me 5 more minutes, bitch. Bet you won't. Go ahead. Put the timer on for 5 minutes now, motherfucker.
Can your kids hear you right now? Why don't you put your face on the screen? I want to see your face. Come on, Chubbs. Put those big flabby cheeks on the screen.
Give me 5 minutes to talk about Obama, and you go ahead and tell me it's all fucking coincidence.
5 more minutes, but your face has to be on the screen. Come on.
No, fuck you. I'm not catering to you, bitch.
Why not?
You lucky even got me up here, fucking faggot ass bitch.
I want to see those big flabby cheeks while you're talking for 5 minutes. Come on, handsome. Come on, I'll give you 5 minutes. I want to see your face on the screen while you're talking shit. Come on.
Oh, fuck you, bitch.
Where's this in the gospel?
I told you I'm not perfect. And guess what, Zach? My dad just died, so maybe I'm a little bit in rare form, motherfucker. And you're up here saying I had something to do with his death. Maybe that's why I'm a little animated, you fucking bitch. Go ahead and have your fucking dad die and someone make a video saying you were behind it and see how you feel, fucking bitch.
I didn't say you were behind it.
Oh, you just made a whole video insinuating that I was behind it.
I asked the
fucking
question.
Liar.
I asked the question.
Fucking jealous hoe is what you are.
I'm jealous.
I'm not the one making videos about you.
Really?
You're over here getting fucking 400 views on your shitty fucking decodes. Need some new fucking drama. Your fucking decodes suck, by the way.
I just want to expose
you. You didn't even get the fucking key point on Fat Man Scoop. You didn't even catch the 123, dumbass bitch. You only covered the 122 that it was reported on. You didn't even cover that he died on the day leaving 123 and Fat Man Scoop's 123 because you fucking suck. You're washed up, Zach, and you're a half-ass fucking decoder. And everyone fucking knows it. That's why you push away the best decoders like Neo the Hacker and Rambo and all the good fucking decoders. You fucking push everyone good away to make yourself look better. And you suck. You're a shitty fucking decoder, Zach. I outshine you every fucking day. Every fucking day. That's why your decodes are 1 minute little fucking bullshit nothing. I spend hours on a fucking decode, bro. You're a lazy fucking piece of shit. Sitting there telling people, oh, when I get 10K a month, I'll hire someone. I'll hire Jonathan. Where's all your fucking hires, Zach? Where's Gematria Effect Studios? I run a website. Oh, I just make 40 grand a month with fucking sports picks and get them all fucking wrong all the time.
Joseph, if you want to speak on that, who did I hire that didn't follow through, which caused a domino of problems?
Dude, no one gives a fuck about what you have to say, Zach. Everyone knows you're fucking disingenuous fucking shill, bro.
It was Rambo who got hired and then did nothing for weeks, which became
Rambo ran circles around your bitch ass.
Again, hold on.
There's no hold on, Zach. You suck at decoding, bro.
Hold on. You want
decoding with Cody's better than you. The Illusion's better than you. Jurassic Liars is better than you.
Hold on. See, this kind of shit's annoying. See, when you watch clips from a troll's channel who's super disingenuous, who leaves out the story, which he does know, but he clips it the way he does to create a slanderous point of view, you miss things. Now, I hired Rambo, and Rambo did nothing for weeks. And what made me look bad is I announced that we'd hired somebody, and you were going to find out who that was real soon. And all he had to do at the time was create a YouTube channel and just put up a video. And he didn't do it for weeks. And he kept telling me it's because he could not come up with a channel name. And I didn't anticipate that this was going to take weeks. And in that time, what happened was there were a lot of people in the community who felt like they should have been the first hire. And there used to be some really good people in this community who actually left over that because they felt jaded that they weren't hired because they'd been around longer than Rambo. So this was a frustrating experience. And then I also had Sweet Lady in my ear like, Zach, the other thing is if they cut you off again, how are you going to pay Rambo? And between the whole thing, I just said, you know what? That's true because that could happen. And so I told Rambo we're going to back out of this thing. And instead, we put up the website. And I put the website up where people could do the work, organize, network, not have to worry about censorship, since that was a major thing of the problem. The website wasn't cheap. So I've made a major investment in the community. If I could take it all back with the website, I would, because it's been a lot of money spent for little result. But again, I do intend to have a team of people and follow through with everything that I've had envisioned for a long time. Now, Rambo and I, after that happened, we kept it together and he kept coming on the show. That was the one thing he was doing, was TFR on Wednesday nights. But everyone saw how that went too. Rambo got trolls in his head like Joseph Aquaviva, who goes around and tries to instigate and start shit up. That's what Joseph is. He's in everybody's chat talking shit. Instigating like a troll. There's him and several other people. It's not just him. But I hope you guys are seeing how this troll network works, because this is how it is. And they do e-stock, and somehow they're aware of everything. But Rambo did obviously get the trolls in his ear. And you guys saw what Rambo did. He started creating drama out of nowhere on TFR on Wednesday nights. And the first time he did it, I kind of just let him go on and on and on. And I said, hey, I'm sorry you feel that way, but you want to get on and do the decode tonight? And then, a few more weeks went by, and then Rambo called in and did the same thing again. And you guys should all ask yourself, why is Rambo creating drama on TFR when he has my number? He could call me behind the scenes. So, yeah, I never did anything wrong to Rambo. I offered him a job, and Rambo did nothing after accepting the job for 4 weeks. And then I just said, okay, never mind. This is like to not come up with a channel name for all this time. And then I got to admit this too. Rambo was saying he had no idea how to create. I was telling him he'd figure out how to do it. What was weird to me is when Rambo started making YouTube videos, they were really good. And maybe he did learn and figure it out. But I just found it weird how he acted so incapable. And then when he finally started producing videos, they were really high quality. And again, like this trolling with Rambo is just annoying, because did I not build up Rambo? Did I not help Rambo get a big following? And now Rambo pays his bills on his Patreon page. I mean, I helped build Rambo up. You, Joseph, you built your work on my work. Your work is built on my shoulder. You can keep complaining about like my shoulders not. I'm not saying I have the broadest shoulders in the world, but I've always been sufficient. You know, I've always been a standout athlete. I've always been able to put up plenty in the gym. So keep dissing the way my shoulders are, but I'm pretty sure I'm a lot more capable physically than you are, Chubs. So yeah, and again, that's why I even start to wonder about Rambo. I'm like, was Rambo always just hanging around just to like build up his own name and then create problems? Because that's kind of what he did in the end. But I never did anything bad to Rambo. Am I wrong, Chad? Did I ever do anything bad to Rambo? I mean, people love to use that, like, oh, Zach ran Rambo. It's like, how'd I run Rambo away? Rambo didn't handle things like a man. If he had a problem, he could have called me up at any time rather than creating drama on TFR. Yeah, yeah. You know, King Richard TV, who I'm not too happy with, but this is true. You know, a lot of people I've helped build up, and then they just become the backstabbers. It's crazy. So, Joseph, again, I don't know, man. I think you're making yourself look really bad, which is not shocking. I mean, again, I know who you are. I know who you are. And the funny thing is, you don't have to worry. The Christian flock that likes you is going to stick behind you. Just like a call for an uprising, he's embarrassed himself several times with me. His following didn't seem to care because all they need to hear is that they need to hear the magical J word. As long as you still say you believe in Jesus, I'm riding with you. And again, that's why these creeps, that's why they rape children, and they use the Jesus trick to rape children. So Joseph, as a Christian, do you feel like you've done a good job tonight? Do you feel like as a Christian you've done the right thing? Like, would Jesus slander people because is there anywhere in the Bible where that happened, where Jesus slandered people who doubted him? Did that happen anywhere? I don't remember that in the story either.
So number one, if you're asking me, do I think that I represented Jesus well tonight? Is that what you're asking me?
Sure.
If you want my honest answer, no, I don't think I did. But no one's perfect. And again, Zach, my dad died less than 2 weeks ago, and you're making videos all day insinuating that it was a Jesuit ritual, which is absolutely ridiculous. You shouldn't even be talking about my dead father. It's indecent. It's disrespectful. So if I acted out a character and I didn't act like Jesus would want me to act, I'm not perfect, and I'll have to live with that, and I'll have to repent, and I'll have to do better. But I'm a man, Zach. I have testosterone, and when I've been being harassed all day like this, you know, I don't know how you expect a man to act, man. So no, I did not represent Christ well tonight, but I'm not perfect, man. And again, my dad just died. I'm a little bit. Could you imagine? I don't know if your dad's dead or not, but imagine your dad dying and then people making videos about you saying that your dad was some sacrifice. It's not cool, man. At the end of the day, man to man, it's just not cool to talk about another man's dead father.
I don't consider you a man. Mm-mm. No,
that's coming from you, Zach. I mean, come on.
So, Joseph, wouldn't you say what I've presented here is as true as anything that we've ever presented about the world of celebrity? And again, it is true that you became a troll when I really started.
Well, that's a horrible decode, like most of your decodes. It's horrible. It's garbage. If you think that's a decode, you're fucking really retarded, man. Really. Okay. Like, your decoding is so bad if you think that's a good decode.
Joseph, you copy me word for word.
Well, right, but I'm horrible, right?
Mm-hmm. No.
It doesn't make sense. Either I copy you word for word, or I'm horrible. Which is it, Zach?
Word for word.
Okay, so then my decodes must be okay. Then my decodes,
Antichrist, which is a joke. All right, Joseph.
Zach, literally 10% of my videos are about Obama. The other 90% are the Jesuits and the Freemasons. Like you. I think you're a Freemason, Zach. That's what I think.
Well, you can think that all you want. I'm not. So
prove it.
Never been in a lodge in my life. I don't know how to prove it. If you're going to accuse me of being a Mason, prove that I'm a Mason.
Well, you want me to prove that I wasn't behind my dad's death, allegedly?
No, because, Joseph, I still haven't accused you of being behind your dad's death.
Why would they kill my dad? What gain? Who gained, Zach? Tell me that. Who gains from my dad being dead?
We see
Nobody.
the border takes their own. You have been harassing the person online who's been doing more to expose the Jesuits than anyone else.
I exposed the Jesuits as much as you. I admit that I learned about the Jesuits from you.
Hey, Joseph, thanks for exposing yourself tonight. All right, that's enough of Joseph. We got a few other people in the room. Take their calls and we'll wrap it up. What's up, Zay?
Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, I'm gonna start off by saying I'm a big supporter of your work. I came on to it about 2020, around when Kobe died, and that shit had me shook. Don't mind what I said in the chat. Like I just came across some shit right now because we on the topic of beliefs right now, and gematria is a strong belief of mine, and I feel like gematria is a positive movement. There's just people who would rather turn it into something that's not, because it can't be monetized, and so that fits their morality, and they feel like that's okay to go. And this Joseph dude, I don't know what he got going on, but he tripping. He on a trip right now. He on a power trip because he just copying your work. I was tuning in earlier, heard what you was saying. He just biting your work and running off with it, and then trying to diss the teacher. The student can't never diss the teacher. That's moral code. But
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, that's the way I am too. I never taken from anybody and then spent time slandering him. And see, again, you heard him in his own words. I said, well, listen, man, you spent a lot of time making a lot of false videos about me, and never once have you issued an apology. And then he has no intention to do that. He was like, well, I haven't done it for a long time. It's like, that's pretty weak. You can't make a video about an apology as much time as you spent slandering. So yeah, and again, he literally represents why I left Christianity as a 12-year-old. I saw a lot of fakes, phonies, and frauds in the religion. I saw a lot of division coming out of religion. I just said, you know what? I don't want to have anything to do with this religion or so many of the people in it. And again, he's a perfect example to me of why I feel like I made the right decision when I was 12 years old.
Nah, I can second that, because my government name is Christian, but as I got older and I came across your work, I realized, my name has numbers tied to it that I can't seem to get over. So I just use my middle name, and I just run with that, because I don't know, if just having that tag, just being called Christian, it's a bad omen. I feel like I can't function. So, but that's besides the point. Now your work has really changed my viewpoint, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're trying to get all. I know sweet lady waiting on you. So yeah, Joseph need to get his mind right. Zach, I appreciate everything you do, man. And yeah, I'm gonna sign off.
Appreciate it, Zay. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we got a DK Stonewood signing. What's up, DK?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh, I just tuned in like a few minutes ago. I was listening to the nonsense, so I was just going to chime in on it and maybe some background information based on it. First of all, Hebrew is just a renaming of the old Phoenician Canaanite fake Jew language, and then the German Nazi version of that was called Yiddish. But this is just their old language. It's in the movie The Mummy. The Mummy calls it the language of the slaves. When the guy starts, the one sellout guy starts praying all kinds of different languages for the mummy not to kill him when he's about to kill him. Then he starts speaking in Hebrew, and he's like, "Oh, the language of the slaves. Okay, you're going to be useful." Again, alluding to the fact that these Neanderthal hybrid created creatures we call fake Jews are just infiltrators here on Earth to it's basically the old division between Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon man. We're all Cro-Magnon man, and these fake Jews are Neanderthal hybrids, and they were known as the moon worshippers back in the day. The Christians, or quote unquote the normal people, were said to have been worshiping the sun, but they weren't actually worshiping the physical sun in the sky. They just knew that was the representation of God in our physical realm, was the sun, was the life giver. So it's kind of like a battle between the the moon worshippers and the sun worshippers, or Neanderthal hybrids and Cro-Magnon man. And so this guy, and when you look at like, that Paul Slave guy and this guy that was just talking to another fat ugly fake Jew, this Aquaviva guy and Cuts, that we find that the commonality between them all is they're all extremely ugly fake Jews who couldn't get laid in a women's prison. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? You're actually not wrong about that, because Paul is one. So yeah.
Well, all you have to do is look at these guys' faces. I mean,
and that's all that comes on his stream, or other ones, and they're all frauds.
Yeah.
They're all frauds trying to get people to get arrested. Yeah, just go out and take off your license plate and drive around on the street. Show how big of a man you are. Why aren't you doing that, Joseph? Why don't you take the plates off your Tampa Bay Buccaneers truck and drive around Tampa? Because that's what real men do. That's what real dumbasses do. I understand that the plates and all the tabs and all that are bullshit, but I'm sorry, that's not the way you're ever going to beat this slave system, by just showing like how many times you're willing to go to jail and argue with the judge. I mean, that's just a waste of your life. You're going to become part of the jail prison industrial complex, just like Paul is, constantly paying your slave wages for all the court fees.
Paul Slave is absolutely no different than all the, Phoenician, Canaanite, fake Jew, moon worshiping First Amendment frauditors. You notice those guys are all fake Jews, just like your buddy. What was the guy who likes it in the pooper? Forgot his name. The fake Mike, fake news guy.
Oh yeah.
Fucking guy.
Woo!
I mean,
Jesus. Road trip with while he's going through a divorce. We see what's going on there. Somebody's getting zesty. All right.
Can you imagine all this fake Jew troll network all on like one bus, and then you just get on the bus and look at them all? You just like, look at these fucking misfits. Like, it looks like the fake Jew version of the Goonies. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Oh man, they're just but yeah, and then he's got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is, the Skull and Bones logo, like Tom Brady's watch. And then, his channel got canceled at 19,000 because the moon is 19, because they're moon worshippers. And this is why they, when you look at these Hebrew holidays, that they all start at 6 p.m., when the moon comes out. So it's just, and then like, what they do here is try to like, Billy Carson does this shit to me. Basically, he presents in the exact same verbiage and everything the way I do it, in the same pentameter of the voice, and then just there's little twists in there to make it bullshit, but he's copying my style because I actually have charisma and people want to listen to this stuff I have to say, so he has to copy it exactly the way. I mean, there's 10, 20 other people that have talked about the same thing, but only I said it in that way. And then of course he's got to say it in that way, because that's what, people, it catches people's ear, and then he'll put his own twists on it or whatever, because he's an agent. And then, the guy you were defending, unfortunately, the guy you were defending when Antifa was there, was also placed there as an agent to cause the fake fight so they could, and end up getting to you.
Here's what I'll tell you why that might be possible. As soon as I got into Portland, it was at night. He just called late at night, and I haven't talked to this guy in like 2 years. He goes, "Hey, when are you coming down to Portland again?" And I was like, how weird that he would call me right as I get into town. And then he said he was going to come out, but he never showed up. So a part of me does wonder.
Yeah. And then, I said, 2 years ago, I always thought Rambo was a sleeper cell, that was just kind of hanging around, and until it was his time to, exit stage left and kind of try to make you look bad regarding that. But I mean, he was actually kind of pretty quiet compared to these other trolls that are just, I mean, even right there where that guy Joseph Aquaviva started going, "Bitch, faggot," he just sounded like exactly like the Cuts creature thing, whatever that is like a failed test tube baby, like Danny DeVito and Twins or something. It's like, I wonder who the bigger brother that came out with all the good genetics, if they made Cuts in the test tube. Maybe there's somebody out there who actually looks like a human being. And also if you look back in like history, there were these half goat, half human like creatures, in mythology, which wore a black cube on their head like the rabbis do today. And they were known as satyrs. You ever heard of that before?
I'm familiar with that word.
Yeah, like you had Minotaur, Centaur, Satyr, spelled like Satyr. So these satyrs were known for like confusing people and creating like creating basically creating confusion and strife. And one of the like the most famous satyr we have in our mythology is Pan. So that's where we get words like pandemonium and panic and pandemic. You know, they're all based on confusion and lies, you know. And so you see these creatures as they were morphing them from, you know, whatever creature they originally were before they mixed in Neanderthal man. They were, you know, or they were like half Neanderthal man, half goat, and, you know, these other creatures. And then, you know, finally we're looking at them where they look quasi-human to us. I mean, they're still the ugliest creatures on earth. That's why I can tell them all. Even in my neighborhood, like, you know, I'll accuse someone, they'll look at me, they're like, what? I'm like, well, I could tell by your mouth and teeth that you're, you know, one of these fake Jews. And they just look at me like absolutely shocked. You know, I'm like, you're first of all you do is lie. Second of all, you're ugly as sin. All of you look exactly the same. You stick out like a sore thumb. How am I not going to know that you're a fake Jew? And, you know, then they, of course, try to claim I'm anti-Semitic and all this other crap. I'm like, you're not Semitic either. Semitic means you speak an Arab language, which you don't. You guys speak, you know, Hebrew, which is a Phoenician Canaanite, you know, language from back in the day. And, you know, we get the word phony from Phoenician, these phony people. You know what I wanted to ask you? I don't know, maybe this is off topic on this stream, but I was wondering how you don't have enough influence on Sweet Lady to not have the baby in a hospital.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I was gonna say have her research, like, you know, how much cutting the placenta and like the vitamin, all those things, like just those two things will lower your like IQ by like 50 points, you know, for like your. There's a lot. I mean, those are like super satanic practices. Maybe you guys could find a hospital where they're not going to do that, but it's tough, you know. And then that other thing that guy was saying about not signing the birth certificate, he was right about that. You could still do absolutely everything without a birth certificate. You're just not going to be a citizen, so you won't have to pay taxes, but you could still do absolutely everything else. You get a passport. You can get all these documents without being a citizen and having a birth certificate. I know one of my friends, his kid's now like 8 or something, but he doesn't have any paperwork on anything. He actually said he was born at sea while they were on vacation on their rental boat or whatever. So just like Ghislaine Maxwell claims she was a citizen of the sea. People didn't catch that, but you know, that what's like absolves you from the tax debt. You know, you're not like a chattel property from based on that. So you could still do everything else in society, get a job, driver's licenses and all that. So they kind of confuse people on all that. It's much harder once you have a birth certificate and all this stuff to rescind it all. But if you don't have it from the get-go, I've actually seen like Mexican families in court when I was doing stuff in court, like having to do with, you know, property and stuff like that. There was a little Mexican family who just had their baby in a village, and the fake Jewish judge, you could see her literally slathering and like the spit running down. She's like, do you have any records? You know, they were trying to get a birth certificate. She's like, do you have any records? You know, anything you have would help. You know, they just want to create a birth certificate. And she probably gets, who knows, you know, probably got a $50,000 bonus just for, you know, getting another birth certificate on the record, you know? So I don't know, maybe I would encourage you to have Sweet Lady research some of that stuff, what they do in a hospital, as opposed to like a birthing center or another, you know, midwife facility where they, you know, they can have your placenta literally laying right next to you on a table till it all drains out into the baby. And if you want, you could dry it later, whatever, it falls off on its own. But that's basically your immune system for the whole rest of your life is based on that original, you know, deposit of the blood. Because when we come into this world, we're a little too big to come all in one package. So we come with luggage, which is called the placenta. That's basically our immune system that we're carrying around with us once we start breathing the air. So that's why you need all that blood. And I mean, you could just watch videos online of these in these villages, how they do it. You know, the babies don't even cry. I mean, it's just all the shit we're used to as far as they show us from like hospitals, slapping the baby in the butt and so it cries. And I mean, this is all just like purely satanic stuff. So anyway, sorry about going off topic, but I just kind of had that in my mind since I heard you say it. I was like, oh no, we're trying to bring another Messiah into the world here. Let's not have him subject to the hospital right when she comes in, you know?
Yeah, I hear it, but
That's
I
probably
don't get
why I
the
don't
point
have
saying
any
that
of
one
my own yet, because I don't want to go through this shit with somebody I love and then have it turn ugly, you know.
for sure. Yeah. All
Anyway,
right, DK. Well, I
I'll let you
appreciate it,
go.
man.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
And by the way, if that's the real Twavith in the chat, I'll give you 5 minutes. You can come on here, Twavith. I don't think that's really you though, but if it is, you can come on. Hold on, it's wrong channel. Evan was next. What's up, Evan?
Yeah, hey, I just want to kind of point out, I think that seems like a lot of the people that are making Gematria videos are more focused on being the best decoder rather than like trying to like get the word out and expose evil.
All right, exactly.
I mean, it's kind of unfortunate. I mean, I think they don't necessarily have to like be following you, or like they can be out doing their own things, which is fine. But like if you're out there doing your own things, then you shouldn't really be like slandering other creators for no reason, especially if you learn from them.
Right. And that's why you can see that, I mean, something's up because normal people don't condone themselves that way. And it's just like he started to expose himself because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, he's like an e-stalker. How's he aware of all these recent things? Like, how does he even know that that happened? I know he's not following all these channels. So there's something up with this troll network.
I mean, I don't know for sure if he is a troll or not, but even if he's not a troll, I think it just kind of goes to show that I don't know what I'm saying, but I think it just goes to show that I guess like the powers that be or the powers that shouldn't be, whatever you want to call them, they're okay with kind of letting these types of decoders get their work out and promote them because it doesn't make the work look good.
Right. Exactly. And that is what's frustrating. I mean, the one thing he says is true. He's like, oh, we're getting as many views as you are now. Yeah, sadly, that is true. And I mean, it's not a good thing. So.
And also he said that you said that he had his dad killed. You clearly never said that. I mean, he's either not a good reader or not a good listener.
Well, I mean, if you're familiar with this guy, he has a really low IQ. I mean, he's, like I said, I mean, he should walk outside with a bicycle helmet on at all times. So.
That's good. Thanks for having me on. I gotta get ready for bed, but
all right, thanks, buddy. Have a good one, Evan. All right, we got a few more people in here. What's up? The Ultimate Truth Tut. What is that?
Hey, Zach. What's up? Can you hear me?
It's echoey, but yeah.
Hold on. It's echoing. Can you hear me now? Is this better?
Just go ahead. I hear you.
Yeah, I had posted a video in the private chat here on StreamYard, and it's a video that I think would be really interesting. If you want to show it, probably next time. It's about how Jews. It's from an Orthodox Jew. An Orthodox Jew made that video, and he talks about how it is that Jews get to like such a high level in society, and he says that no, it's not a coincidence. They have a certain way of doing things, and basically they work together as a community, and they use their money to build the Jewish community and to like make better schools, and going towards the temples and all that stuff, which is untaxed. And they build their community up, and when a Jew has a business and he makes a lot of money, usually he'll hire other companies that are also owned by Jews. So basically, like helping each other out. They have this.
Right. And you're one of them, and that's why you're always baiting the trolls. All right. Yeah, I mean, just right after asking him to stop baiting the trolls, he's on that night just baiting the trolls. And then he's like, I'm going to change my name to Extinction of Truth. So I just recognized who it is. The echoey was throwing me off, but yeah, he's also one of them. So let's go out to Alki Bulan, if I'm saying that right. Apologies if not.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Zach?
Yeah, what's up?
Going back to the other caller that was talking about the creatures and stuff. Have you ever looked into the Nephilims?
Okay.
Yeah, Max, have you ever looked into them?
The Nephilim,
Yeah.
like the fallen angels.
Yeah, the ones that disguise themselves as humans.
Sure.
Um, yeah, because there's a I just believe like the biggest deception is these celebrities and false idols disguising themselves as humans, you know. Um there's a video that I watched a couple years ago where they were I forgot I forgot what sports network it was, but they were basically showing how they have these Tom Brady like human masks, and they were basically like talking about how this is not available to the public. But that just goes to show like if they're showing us things like that, like imagine what they have behind the scenes, you know, imagine what they're really doing with things like that, you know. But yeah, I just find it interesting when he was talking about the creatures and stuff. Um, because I believe there's definitely other. We're definitely not the. We're definitely not the only beings in this world. You know. I definitely think the Nephilims are walking upon us and infiltrating our society day by day, and we just don't see it because they disguise themselves as humans.
Sure, and again, the whole fallen thing is connected to that 33 a third, and we know the cabal loves to code the 33 everywhere. Again, Roddy Piper saying "They Live" was a documentary, tweeting it out on the Jesuit anniversary. So you start to see what if the Nephilim are a real thing, and they very well might be. You start to see what orders are connected to them, and yeah, I'm not opposed to that. I think that is possible. That it's wicked people that rule over us.
Yeah, but what if I mean this shit might go deeper than we think. What if the Nephilims are almost immortal, Zach? You know, like um what if they've been here for thousands of years? Like um I just don't find it a coincidence that so many celebrities look identical to other celebrities. And yeah, you can argue the fact that they might be related, or but I don't believe that at all. I simply believe that we're living among beings that are probably immortal, Zach, you know.
It's possible. I mean, bloodlines are obviously a thing. I saw the Nebraska football game was on in the room I was on. I was like, oh my god, Patrick Mahomes' clone is the Nebraska quarterback this year. What the hell even moves just like him? Um,
Yeah, but
so
what if they're
there's
just
weird stuff going
creating
on, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but what if they're just creating these celebrities um based on other popular celebrities? Almost like psychologically we're like, I'm gonna just give an example. Patrick Mahomes, for example, or Stephen Curry, for example. We're already psychologically used to that face. So what if they're almost creating another character based off that character? I don't know if you understanding what I'm saying.
I understand what you're saying. It's all possible. It's just with that information. I mean, the only way we're going to be able to reveal something like that, if it is that deep and something like that's going on, is
It will never happen. It will
well,
never happen.
you'd have to have enough people digging at the truth, and you'd have to have the right people in the right room. So that's what I mean. That's why my work is focused on what is provable to help people see through what the controlling forces are in this world. And if behind those people are Nephilim, I mean, the only way you're ever going to find that out is, again, if enough people are really pushing. I'd say anything's possible, but
Yeah, but
anyway, if you got any closing thoughts, please. I got to wrap this up though pretty soon. There's a few more people on hold, but please, final thoughts. Thank you.
just final thought. I just feel like the gematria part of it is definitely important. It's definitely one of just the most the most simplest thing that they've been using to really deceive all of us. And it's crazy that I'm even mad that it took me this amount of years to find your work, Zach. Like the other day, I was just sitting there realizing all of this. Like wow, like I'm pissed off that it took me this long to run into your work. You know, like all my life I've lived and lived this life, and I didn't realize none of this. You know, so I definitely think the gematria part is part of it. You know, is definitely the language and code they use to communicate within each other. But I definitely think you know, this shit is deeper than what we think, you know. But yeah, definitely the gematria part is I just feel like is almost just a percentage of what's really going on, you know.
Yeah, it is. All right, man. Well, I appreciate the thoughts. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, take care. What's up, Jay? Jay, are
Say
you
what's
there?
up.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are there.
you can hear me, right?
Yeah,
Is my mic straight? Because I know some of
you're
these
good. You sound healthier than
okay.
last time. You feeling better?
Oh yeah. I'm just getting over the cold and shit like that. It's I just don't understand like why people keep like. I mean, obviously we're not meant to understand it, but it really is just like crazy how you never know like how weird somebody really is, and like they can come in and you could think that they're regular and that they actually are down for the cause and all that shit, and then they just turn out to be on some weird shit years later. I've like I just the shit with Rambo. Like I came in when Rambo was like I found you when Rambo was doing the shit on the TFR and all that other shit, and I'm literally like the only person from like that time where we had Bryson and Neo the hacker and all those people. I'm like the only person that's still left, which is just fucking weird. And then people were trying to act like you pushing people away and shit. Like you don't look. I've been here and like you never pushed anybody away. Like you literally did your best to help people and try to keep people like up. Like you literally have been doing that shit ever since I fucking discovered you, which was 2020. You didn't push nobody away. People decided to stop uploading by themselves. They got discouraged by the sub count, the fact that it wasn't getting any views, and I tried to get all these people. I tried to get them to come back, but it is what it is. Like it just is what it is. You didn't push anybody away. They did that on their own. People were just you put people on the map, and then they don't show. They aren't grateful. They try to turn to like I don't understand like and honestly like a lot of these people that turned on you, it's honestly a good thing that they turned on you because I'd be looking at some of their decodes in the past and I'd be like, damn, what the fuck is this? Like this is like not how you use gematria. This is not how you logically decode. I had already made videos on not videos not videos, but I had already showed Joseph on the live stream that because I was explaining why I don't use gematria anymore, and I was like to explain because so many people use this shit illogically, and I don't want to be conflated with these people. But Joseph is literally one of those people, along with Conscious X, Noah's Rant, all these other people, and like you say, he's fixated on the fucking Obama shit. I honestly think the dude is a racist. I think the
Yes.
fact that
Yes.
the fact that you putting all this work and energy into one person who just so happens to be fucking black. We know that all of these motherfuckers are part of the shit and are all playing a role. I mean, if anybody's a fucking antichrist, it would be fucking Trump since he's
It
the
would be
most
Mr. Satan.
self-absorbed. Yeah, he's the most
Exactly.
self-absorbed puppet. The
Exactly.
dude got shot at and he dropped a fucking somebody died supposedly, right? That's the story. But he drops a shoe. He announces a shoe that's based on the fucking attack that's themed with the assassination attempt. I'm like, this is like the most blatant example of self worship that you can ask somebody to give to you. Somebody supposedly died, but he doesn't care about that shit. Nah, let's capitalize it by selling the shoe off the shit. What kind of fucking satanic shit is that? So it's just like to the fact that you're doing all this shit for one person. You're making up your phrases. You're talking about Barack Obama Antichrist. Oh shit, that equals 666. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? Like, this is not how you fucking use the shit. And like, it's so frustrating because it's like this, like people already are looking for any reason to take us down and to disprove what we got, what we're trying to show people. And you're giving them all the ammunition. The same thing with consciousness, because this is not how you use your mantra. You're not proving stuff, things like this. You can't make up your own phrases and be like, oh shit, look at what that equals. He's not even using the four base ciphers. He's like using like these obscure ciphers and making up his own phrases and be like, yeah, this is what this fucking equals. And that's just what a lot of these fucking people do. And this is what fucking Chagozi Truth will be doing. And then that's when I saw when you fell out with him. I was like, shit, another fucking, because I'm looking at his shit. He was cool at first, and then I was like, he kept decoding. I'm like, this is like forced. Like this, I don't think there's a ritual here. Like I think you're just grasping for shit. And then that's when I just fell back from the shit. But then when I heard you had fell out with bro, I was like, good, because a lot of these people are fucking stupid. It's like a baby with a gun, and that's the main point I want to go in. Like I don't feel bad that Neo the hacker was a good decoder, but that's like Bryson was a logical decoder too. But like I said, they stopped because of the whole they got jaded basically, and I'm like the only person from that fucking group that's still around. I know you know what I'm saying? Like I know I get motivated and shit like that, but that was like due to other stuff, due to health issues and stuff like that. I don't want to make any more videos in regards to health, which is the direction that I want to go in. But it's just like people, you know, it's like I had less subscribers than both of them, and it's like it was like what the fuck, like I understand like you don't have as many subscribers as Zach does or this person, but it's not like you're just like completely wasting your time with this shit. Like you're still getting a lot of fucking support. A lot of more people gravitated to them than they did to me, and that's probably because I'm not like I don't speak as politically correct as them. So I speak a lot harsher than them, and that's probably why a lot of people have a hard time listening to me. It is what it is. But
you're not in the troll network. You're not in the troll network, Jay. These guys are all in some kind of network together.
You know, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like I don't know why some of these niggas is so fucking weird. Like you were saying, like what I just get so fucking frustrated at is just I see this in my own fucking life. People are just so fucking sorry, and that's what it is. Like they're just sorry as fuck. They need somebody to hold their fucking hands for every fucking goddamn thing. It's just so fucking frustrating. It's like, who raised y'all niggas? Who raised y'all niggas? I can tell most of y'all niggas, like, I'm not even gonna go, but it's just like, I just don't really understand. It's like, I could never be one of y'all because it's like, I went through a lot of fucking shit, and maybe that's the reason why I'm just not as soft, because it's like, I just don't get phased by the shit. Like every time I see, like, it's just like, why is niggas focused on a boxing match? Why is the nigga talking about, yeah, come down to fucking Florida, let's box? I'm like, okay, but we're trying to do something for the world. And again, these people, everybody's just so focused on stroking their fucking ego. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why are we focused on a boxing match? Why does that matter? What is that gonna do for anybody? Like, this is something that's gonna last for fucking 2 minutes. He said, it's just, you see these YouTubers do this shit all the time. Somebody says something that they didn't like, they got into it, and now they're gonna go, like, this boxing match don't got nothing to do with what the fuck y'all started fighting. Like, it's just the ego stroke. All niggas care about is fucking ego. That's all niggas care about. They only care about when there's drama. They only care about when it's something negative. And this is why I get frustrated on my own channel, because whenever I put out information on my own channel, that shit gets no views. But whenever it's a comment, like whenever it's a video where I'm fed up and I'm going on rants, that's when I get a whole bunch of comments. That's when I get a whole bunch of likes. That's when I get the most views I ever get. Why is it like that? I want to just be able to give people information. And it's the same thing here. You had over 300 people in this fucking live stream when you were talking to him, but you see how when he left, a lot of people also left the chat, because people are attracted to fucking drama. They are attracted to bullshit. They are attracted to controversy. That is all motherfuckers care about. They don't care about fucking Some people do, obviously, but most people, unfortunately, do not care about stuff that's actually going to help them. They only care about drama. They only care about controversy. That's all they fucking care about. Two niggas about to kill each other. That's all they fucking care about. And it's just frustrating. It's like that's all motherfuckers want to fucking see. And it's like this isn't gonna fucking help anybody. It's like why are we even doing this shit? People are just fucking sorry. This is all they have to fucking contribute. And it's like I don't like, I was cool with fucking Neo, but it's like I don't feel bad for you like going off on him because I feel it. It's like I deal with this in my own fucking life where I'm trying to get shit done and people aren't trying to fucking help me, but they go and support all these other people, and I'm like, you actually know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you not working with me? Oh, I just don't think it's gonna fucking go anywhere. Yeah, nigga, because we just fucking started. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this shit? What is this shit? Like, why is everybody just so fucking sorry? It's just people are just sorry as hell. People aren't gonna support shit. People I make a video saying, well, this might be my last video, and then people want to comment talking about, nah, bro, don't stop uploading. But motherfucker, whenever I make a video about anything else, about health, all that shit, I get no fucking comments. Where are y'all niggas when I'm doing my shit? Y'all only care when I'm talking about when I'm talking about negative shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all only care when I'm fed up with the world and when I'm ranting. Y'all only care, you want to comment some shit when I'm about to fucking spaz out and crash out over some shit because this nigga done scammed me. And when I like y'all, that's the only time y'all care about shit. I don't like what the fuck. That's what made me want to not give a fuck about the YouTube shit because like these niggas only care about drama. The fuck, like what? If I make a video about new health, I might get one comment on that bitch. But let me make a video saying this is my last video because I'm fed up with all this shit. Nigga, I got like fucking 50 comments. And I'm like, where are y'all niggas when I need y'all? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so sick of this shit. And it's the same thing with the book that I'm working on. It's the same thing with all this shit. I like doing all this shit.
Don't give up on that book.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give up either. But I just know that when I come out with it, all these same niggas that were talking about, yeah, bro, I'm gonna fucking buy it. I'm gonna support you.
When you finish the book, I'm gonna buy at least 100 copies and I'm gonna give them away. So you got at least 100 sales when you're done.
Thank you, but it's like, and that's the thing. I'm gonna stop yapping it a little bit. Don't worry. But I'm just like, it's just I call in so much because it's like you're literally me if I was white. like no bullshit. Like we're the same fucking person, bro. Like every time you fucking talk about the religion shit, and I'm like, this is how I've been thinking since the beginning. Like you're me, like literally, you're just in a different fucking body. You're just in a different body. That's it. But it's like you be saying everything that I fucking agree with. But it's like, why is there only a few? Because just like how you just said, you'll buy 100 copies. I be doing this. I be on the same type of timing when I support somebody. But like when I be around my niggas that quote unquote support me, that quote unquote say they gonna do shit, them niggas don't do shit. You said you was gonna support me. Motherfuckers would be like, yeah, bro, keep going, don't stop. But if I put some shit out, them same niggas ain't nowhere to be seen. Like, what the fuck? Why are we such a minority of fucking people? I'll be ready. if one of my partners dropped a book or dropped a song, I'd be fucking ready to share that shit if I knew it was hard type shit. Like I'd be ready to share that shit and blow it up and do all this if I know somebody's putting out good information. But these niggas, it's like they just so fucking prideful. They only want to support you and they just want to suck dick. Like they just want to eat dick. They only care when you big. Like it's just so stupid. It's like y'all niggas y'all don't want to support shit until you see everybody else fucking with it. Y'all keep saying, yeah, bro, I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna support you. I done had so much shit that I put out. Niggas talking about, oh yeah, bro, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Then when I put it out, them niggas ain't nowhere to be found. I need y'all. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm tired of working the job, bro. I want to do what I actually want to do in order to fucking survive and shit like that. I want to be able to do what I like doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just know, like you said, like I know, like, but it's like everybody else is just like, what the fuck? Like, niggas is just so fucking sorry. Like, just like what you said, if somebody dropped a book, I'd buy. If I had the money, I'd buy 100 of them bitches. If I knew it was good, if I knew that it had potential. But these niggas, they just see a shit. They'll like the fucking post. I'll announce that I'm dropping some shit. They'll like the shit. It won't do anything else. I'm like, why the fuck are you liking this shit if you're not gonna do nothing else? Well, like I need more than a like. I need more than just you just scrolling past the shit. It's like, why the fuck you subscribe to me if you're not gonna click on shit, if you're not gonna comment on shit, if you're not gonna like shit, if you're not gonna share shit? Get the that's why I didn't. That's why I was like I said, bro. Like that's why when you snapped on Neo, when you snapped on all these other people because they just fucking get into the chat, but they not doing shit. It's like I feel it. Like even though I
Well,
fuck with
and
Neo, but
just about
it's the same
Neo,
shit.
the thing about Neo is I see Neo's game. It's been this way 2 years. He doesn't say shit in any video about information. He comes in anytime there's drama and makes some comment like that. It's like, I'm done with this, man. That's enough.
Yeah.
2 years of this, you're out of here.
Yeah. It's like I can't, you know what I'm saying? And I felt that because I'm going through the same shit. I'm like, I got people that's dead weight on my end, on my own personal life. They claim to be helping me with this. I was supposed like it's just I end up doing everything by myself. I started something with somebody. It happened. This was like how it was when music. I had two partners that I was close with. We was all supposed to be doing music together. Them niggas, I pushed. I had two niggas that was hard as fuck. Their music was better than mine. Like honestly, at least production wise. And they like I was like, yo, we gotta get in the studio. These niggas worry about they worry about bitches and shit. I'm like, bro, they gonna stay there, bro. Like let's map out a deal. Nah, bro, I gotta fucking I'm with old girl. I'm like, man, come on, man, let's go to the studio. I end up going to the studio by myself. I post same thing with the drawing shit. I'm telling my other dude like this dude, I got connected with the this other dude that's also supposed to be drawing his own comic. Dude put me on. He like, yo, you on the same shit. So I'm like, bet. Let's start something. Let's start a business. This nigga ain't trying. This nigga is it's like talking all this game like, yeah, bro, he fuck with you. But then when I'm reaching out to the nigga's bullshitting. The nigga's bullshitting. The nigga ain't responding. The nigga ain't doing none of that, bro. And I'm like, and then I had another nigga that was drawing too, and I'm like, yo, let's start something. Let's start an empire. And I'm just like, this nigga's like, yo, this nigga just liking my messages. I'm like, nigga, where all that energy that you were showing before? It's like everybody's just a fucking bullshitter. Nobody,
Jay,
all right, nigga,
here's the thing though.
you want to keep
I understand
working
what you're
that
saying.
job? Fuck it.
I get all that, Jay. Don't let all these people discourage you though. Just stay on.
No, I'm
your
not
grind.
discouraged. I'm not discouraged.
At the end of the day, you can get everything done that you need done yourself.
I agree. I'm not discouraged. I'm just saying I realize now I gotta do everything alone because I'm around a bunch of sorry ass niggas. Like y'all niggas don't really be meaning what y'all
That's
say.
how it was. My
You know what I'm saying?
friends, whenever they needed help, they call on me. Always help them out. Whenever I need them, always excuses. I still remember the night I was moving in Seattle. They all said they're gonna help me out. All of them. All of their excuses were, man, I'm finally getting in with this girl tonight. I'm like, okay, man. So I'm
just like, bro, we talking about fucking business over here.
Man, okay. That's the way it was. And that's the way this world is, Jay. So
yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It's just like I just realized like you just be around a bunch of dead weight. Like nobody be sharing the same ambition. It's just y'all niggas like I couldn't be one of y'all niggas because y'all don't have no fucking ambition. I tell myself all the time, I'm gonna just stop with this YouTube shit. But I keep fucking going because I realize it's never been in me to quit. It's never been in me to quit. That's why I'm like, I can tell myself all day, I'm done with this YouTube shit, or I'm done with this, I'm done with that. I'm never going to quit because it's not in me. I'm literally not built to be that. I'm built to like 50. I'm built to either win or die trying. That's the only fucking life I'm gonna live. I'm gonna either succeed or I'm gonna die trying. I'm not gonna be one of these niggas that's sitting on the fucking couch. Oh well, I'm not finna be. I'm not like these niggas is just bitches. Like who raised y'all? Y'all just soft. Like y'all have no ambition. Y'all have no purpose. Like y'all are just fucking sorry. Like I'm not finna be one of y'all niggas. I could never be one of y'all. I wasn't born to be one of y'all niggas. And y'all just niggas in my life holding just dead weight. It's just what are y'all around me for if y'all not gonna support shit? Just
yeah. So now you just gotta cut your losses.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just stay focused, Jay. Finish that book. I'm looking forward to it.
No, yeah, I will. You know, I'm working on it right now. I got it right now. I got the pages right now.
Keep
Yeah,
grinding.
you see it right here. Yeah.
It'll be done. So.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. I got to wrap it up though, man. But appreciate you. No, he hopped off. So. All right, we got Big Money. What's up, Big Money?
Hey Zach, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, yeah. I know you've been on here a while, so I'll just wrap it up quickly. Um, like I think the frustrating part, with everything that went on tonight is just, as someone who discovered you like probably 3-ish or 4-ish years ago, my goal, is to be a student, and you the teacher, and like I just want to learn, how certain things, pop up, the patterns that, repeat just so I could, follow. And to get it interrupted by people who constantly, try to insert, their work over yours and say that you're a false prophet and, just, a bullshitter and everything. It's just frustrating because it's like, I just want to learn and I'm here to like, come into this community like trying to pick up everyone's insights and perspectives and views, and that's the whole purpose of me joining here. But then all these trolls come in here and it's like I fucking can't focus like when they throw the whole purpose of these streams off, and it's just it's very annoying. And and it has to be frustrating for you more than anything because it's like here I am, trying to provide, a perspective and an insight that hey, we need to spread this knowledge, we need to wake people up, we have to get the word out so that way people understand how we're being misled, misguided, and led to a point of no return where people are just going to continue to hand away their rights, hand away their lives basically, to worship, these satanic demonic people that are put in front of our faces on a day-to-day basis. And it's like, come on guys, like you can't, at some point you have to fucking see through all this shit and get off your high horse and just, start listening to people. And stop trying to overtake the conversation. It's okay to sit back, understand, and listen because I don't know everything about gematria. I'm only like a 4 years into this, and I'm still learning every single day. And you have like 12 plus years of experience with this, so it's like I'm, trying to put all the pieces together. Like, why do all these basketball players wear the number 33? Why are people, in dresses, on commercials and, saying, oh, I keep it real, for my people back home and stuff. And it's just like, really? Like, why is this, why does this pass, in the real world, as stuff like this? And it's just embarrassing, that people would rather try to prove their own point and try to talk over you rather than just, sit back and listen to what, you're trying to provide to us. And it's just, it's frustrating for me as a listener because I like to, learn and, I take things slow. And even after your streams, I sit down, I write some stuff down, look at the notes and just try to do my own research on my own and to try to see like, why is this the case? And I say this, as someone who's frustrated as a listener, but I know this is the frustration on your end is probably 20 times worse. And for whatever, it's worth, and I know you're never going to quit doing this. And I hope you never do because this knowledge is going to take me far. It's changed my perspective of how, I view things. And it's made me, not want to really communicate, with a lot of people. And like you said, you have to cut your losses in this world. If people insist on, staying on that hamster wheel of, living, a basic life, being set, not exercising, eating garbage food, supporting these garbage corporations, supporting garbage TV, garbage messages, garbage rituals, all this stuff, then like I need to cut bait. I need to cut dead weight. And that's what you have taught me that, all this stuff that, you bring to the table, we have to, we got to take it, you know, uh, embrace it and, just, use it, to better ourselves and to better each other in this community. And I wish people would understand that, but, you know, we just have to keep going as it is and, just here, whatever nonsense may come into, you know, these streams. But keep fighting the good fight, and I'll be here, you know, as usual, supporting the work. And thank you again for hearing me out. I greatly appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call. You have a good night.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, just to say something that I've said 1,000 times. I mean, I showed what I was about when I came here. I came here, I stayed focused. I just kept doing the work, trying to advance the research, you know, always learning more. And, you know, along the way, people started asking questions like, hey, what's your religious belief? And I'd say, well, I was raised Lutheran, but now I just consider myself spiritual, you know, living by the golden rule, pursuing truth. And then next thing you know, you'd have people making videos. Oh, he said he's not a Christian. He must be a Jewish shill. And again, people were amazed at how fast videos were being made about me when my channel was brand new. And I remember people leaving comments like, wow, I've never seen anybody get attacked so fast. There must be something to what you're doing. And I took it like a badge on. I was like, wow, people are attacking me and making stuff about me. I've just hardly even got here. And I mean, it's just been the same thing the whole time. And the thing that's gotten old, though, is just the gang of Christian sheep. And I think that's exactly, I mean, Jesus even talks about his flock. I mean, flock of sheep, the sheep herder, the shepherd. But just all of these sheep that get behind these characters, these obvious frauds, just horrible, nasty, disgusting, pathetic people. Again, Richie from Boston, you know, he figured out how to fleece the flock once he just started saying he was about Jesus, flat earth, wearing the armor of God, just repeat the same 3 phrases. He realized how to get the money rolling in. Again, if I was a dishonest person, I would have been here the whole time doing exactly what I'm doing. And I would have been pretending that I'm about Jesus. And I guarantee I wouldn't have had any problems. Just could have pretended the whole time that I was down with Jesus, would have had way more support. You know, Flat Earth came along. I saw how people's channels just soared once they jumped on the Flat Earth thing. I mean, I could have jumped on that. I could be like, damn. You know, just say you're a flat earther, and all of a sudden your subs are up 100%, 200%, 500%. Richie from Boston. You guys, Richie from Boston was here for almost 10 years, had about 7,000 subs. After the wave of deletions in 2017, he was the only, like, if you want to say, truth channel left on YouTube, and he climbed all the way up to 500,000 subscribers. A guy who had 7,000 subs. He quickly, once he hit 10,000, when he hit 10,000 when he started doing the Jesus thing. And then I watched how fast he went from 10 to 100,000 doing the Jesus armor of God flat earth thing. And then once everybody got deleted, he was like the only channel left on the tube, up to 500,000. It was like, look at this. Here's the face of the truth community. Retard from Boston. And again, I think in the archives, I saw the video of him and the rapist ODD reality. And who was it? Nicholson, 1968, running their scam with the sound effects. They started their live stream and didn't realize they were playing at their plan to dupe the audience. Say the CIA hacked their live stream and it caught on fire midstream. We've got to raise money for a new computer. I mean, that's how it started small time. But Richie's still scamming. Again, I mean, he's telling his audience just bullshit. Oh, somebody just stole my gold bars. I need money. What are you driving around with gold bars in the back of your car for, moron? And you just know it's bullshit. No, but again, I mean, if I was a con man and a fraud and a shill, that's what I would have been doing. I mean, it's just an obvious game to play. Well, remember, oh God, what was the one Christian guy? Oh, he had a big channel, like 500,000 subs, and then people found out he was gay. And that didn't surprise me because I was thought, well, he always seems super gay. I can't, some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Who was the big Christian channel? He'd collaborate with the Call for an Uprising sometimes. Oh, what was his name? God, I can't remember. But then it came out he was gay, and then his whole channel fell apart. And isn't that funny, too? I mean, yeah, technically, you're probably not supposed to be gay if you're a Christian, but would Jesus judge a gay guy? I don't think so. I'll tell you something that's weird. You know how last week I did the video on Saturnalia, and I talked about how Tom York, how the song Creep was on the radio? And then I went back and looked at his wife's death, and I noticed she died during Saturnalia. The other morning, I was just looking for, we're getting close. I just want to do more research on Saturnalia. So I did a little search, and this channel came up, Robert Sepper. He has a pretty big channel, like 500,000 subs. His video on Saturnalia, he's doing the ukulele cover through several times throughout the video of Creep. And he doesn't mention anything about Tom York and his wife dying during Saturnalia. But I thought that is weird that he's doing this ukulele cover of Creep in his Saturnalia video when I was just telling him what I found last week. And then I started to look into this guy. I guess he had a recent fallout because he's one of these guys, like so many YouTubers, who makes it seem like the Rothschilds run the whole world. And then, anyway, it came out that he's Jewish himself. So I guess there was a mass exodus from his channel because people found out he was Jewish. Isn't that crazy, though? It's like, if you like the guy's research, that's the whole thing about just hating on people, too, because of religion. And again, I'm not even Jewish. I'm not circumcised. I can literally physically prove that I'm not Jewish. But somebody will hate on me and accuse me of being a Jew. And again, genetically, I might have some of the Ashkenazi in me, but I'm not Jewish. I was raised Lutheran, and I'm not circumcised. I can prove it all day. So, anyway, it's just, but yeah, that just tripped me out too, because I was like, what in the, I'm watching this guy's video, and then all of a sudden it's a ukulele cover of Creep. I was like, what in the world? And then he's closing the video out with it again. I was just like, what in the world? I'll tell you what, though, that guy's good on the ukulele, man. I like his ukulele cover of Creep. I was trying to find if that was an audio recording alone out there in the world. But yeah, speaking of creeps, again, we kept his photo up here for a long time on the screen. Joseph. But yeah, again, I mean, and what's sad is some people will come through here and think I'm the bad guy just because I don't believe in their religion. I mean, did you see the way Joseph handled himself tonight? False accusations, lies, just needless attacks. You know, just nothing but just trash. Again, he's the same type of Christian a Call for an Uprising is, Richie from Boston is, and they're not Christians. They're not Christians. It's just like I told Sweet Lady when I met her. She said she only dates Christian men. I said, I'll tell you what. Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I'm Christian, but I said, you'll find out that I'm more Christian than most Christian people. And she realized that was true. So. All right, yeah, I went way over time. I'm about to get lectured by Sweet Lady. I'll promise you that. She's about to be super unhappy about what happened here tonight. So, but yeah, again, and what DK said about these false ones, he's not wrong about that. The network is very much that, and like Paul Enslaved, he's one of them, and he's just a goon. That guy's a goon if you know who he is. I call him Pocket Watch Paul. He's up. He knows everything about me too. So. And by saying knows everything about me, I mean not at all, but just talks a whole bunch of shit. So, Pocket Watch Paul. He'll teach you how to end up in jail. He thinks we're going to overthrow tyranny by driving down the highway without a license plate. So, he says my work doesn't mean anything. We should all just be driving down the highway without license plates. Yeah, that's going to solve things. Yeah. It's going to stop the weather warfare. It's going to stop it all if we just start cruising down the highway without a license plate. Who's still in the chat talking? The weirdo? Instead of he's still talking. Yeah, he is. Here, you want to come in here one more time? You want to say goodnight to everybody and let us know why you're not with your 4 children? Why aren't you tucking the kids in tonight? Why are you going on violent tirades, talking nonsense? And again, you're out in the East Coast. It's almost 1 a.m. right now, buddy. All right, was it a great episode? I don't know about that. I'm glad you liked it. But no, these kind of episodes, they got to happen every now and then. Again, I think you wouldn't believe who's waited in the back room this whole time, just hoping they'd get on one more time. He was a little better tonight, though. I got to give credit where it's due. He was a little bit better tonight. Yeah, that could be. We saw how that went down. And then he just can't see. That's what I mean. He can't admit that he lied. Everything I was calling him out on was true, and he just couldn't admit it. He's like trying to make excuses. Stop. And see, that's what I hate about all these shills. They sit here and call me the fraud and liar. I challenge anyone to what have I lied about in the whole time I've been here? I mean, I've been honest about everything. That's why I get attacked. Everyone attacks me for all the things that I've shared. They're like, oh, his house address. Oh, what his sweet lady does. Blah, 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 blah. Again, the biggest mistake was, and I did follow through with it, but then it got screwed up. The biggest mistake was addressing the plans for hiring. That will happen eventually someday. See, that's what's crazy too. Just all the people that want to attack and then destroy the work and then get mad that I haven't been able to achieve the goals. Maybe if I didn't have a million people trying to slander and undermine what I'm doing, maybe we would have already gotten there. You know, again, a guy like Joseph, literally paying the bills on what he learned from me. He's using what he learned from me to feed his family, and then can't give any credit. I mean, what is that? That's I don't know where I come from. That's a scumbag. So you have to slander to build yourself up and still lie, cheat, still. Nowhere in the gospel is that what Jesus taught. He didn't cheat. He didn't teach lie, cheat, steal, slander. You know. So Jesus did have a big ego, though. Jesus said, "Nobody comes through the Father but through me." That's massive ego. That is some straight up crazy ego. All right. Well, this person seems all right. I love Jesus 143. They seem all right. Again, and that's the thing that I get tired of all these shills too. Like, I might have made some jokes here and there about Jesus, but I've never been like, again, I mean, I've always said I was raised Lutheran. Some of the Jesus teachings are good. They're shared in other spiritualities. I still emulate those teachings, but I'm just not about the religion part. And I highly doubt the no one comes through the Father but me part too. I really do doubt that. Sounds silly to me. So. Hold on, Evan. You said you had to go to bed. It's like 2 hours later. You keep leaving false comments. No one's pretending religion's real over here. I'm saying religion is the thing that keeps the world divided. That's what I'm saying over here. But yeah, we've seen G's trolling. So. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's like there's so many people that are halfway in. They're like, okay, I'm against the government. I'm against the media. I'm against big pharma. I see through the corporatocracy. But Jesus, he's the truth. It's like you can't see that all of these things come from the same Roman tradition. Pretty obvious. Super obvious. All the parallels with Jesus and Mithra. I mean, like, it went from Mithra to Jesus. It's like, okay, the Mithra thing's out. Here, let's rebrand it, see if we can suck people back in. Jesus, see if it sticks. Yeah, exactly, David. All right, but yeah, we'll leave it there. Hey, if you guys want to, really, guys, Joseph needs to be put out of business. You know, if everybody wants to clip the part of just if you just want to clip Joseph tonight and just plaster it everywhere, just Joseph in his own words, I'm sure he'll lose a few people who've been under the spell of the fraud that this man is. And these people need to be put out of commission. The problem is they'll just bring another piece of shit up out of the woodwork to replace Joseph, because that's what it's been for 11 years. Joseph's like the 100th piece of shit, just like him, doing the same thing. So, and Joseph, we all know you are a piece of shit. You know, you showed that tonight. I won't stop you, but you'll stop yourself, just like how you showed tonight. And we've seen you a few times, like, I don't know if I can go on. I got chased off the parking lot. Oh, I got my channel deleted. I just don't know how I could go on. Yeah. Yeah. We've seen it all, Joseph. All right. Again, I didn't say we will stop you, but you'll stop yourself. You'll stop yourself. We've already heard it. You've been close. Tonight you exposed that you're no Christian. Tonight you exposed what you are. Just like I said, a little weirdo creep, a little evil man. And again, you didn't show any remorse for your father, and you spoke ill of him. So, I mean, you know, you spoke very poorly of your father. And again, I mean, it's reflective of you, who you are. You essentially explained that you come from a bad man. And it doesn't sound like he really raised you. It sounds like he was absent from your life. And that shows in your character. You're not a good person. You're a scumbag. So, and again, we can all just wonder about the Aquaviva family, the same surname that goes with the 5th Superior General. Your father's dead at 61 on the 283rd day of the Superior General's age. Again, 5 days after the Jesuit order's birthday, when Aquaviva was the 5th Superior General. And as you told us, your father died at 61 in Fort Pierce. I mean, that's really weird. If Joseph, the only thing you would have added is, if this was your decode, is that here's what you would have done. You would have edited in this part. You would have been like, and Barack Obama was born in 1961. That would have been the Joseph Obama final piece. Obama, Antichrist. Joseph Aquaviva dead at 61. Obama born in 61. Undeniable. Totally undeniable. And then decoding with Cody be in the chat. Wow, Joseph, you nailed it. And are you guys not? I think maybe you guys, people, there's been a theory for a while that you guys are the same person, just like 2 different accounts. It's possible that you guys are. I'm humming and hawing about it. So Joseph knows I'm not wrong too. That's exactly how he would have decoded. He would have been like, Obama, born in 61, because he has to bring it in every time. All right, he didn't want to come back in. He doesn't want to say goodnight to us. Hey, go say goodnight to your kids. and hey, why don't you, do the little clip of you going off on the tirade tonight. Upload that to your channel. Say, Joseph Aquaviva, living waters, man of Christ, in action. Play it back. Play it back, Joseph. All right. Thank you, Valentino G. Appreciate that. Will do. Thank you. Thank you, BPST3. Thank you, John Mendoza again. Thank you, LS. Thank you, Dante Reed. Thank you, John Mendoza. Thank you, 13 Serpents. And hold on, who else gets a thank you? I'm about to get a no thank you from Sweet Lady. Thank you, Jason. And thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. All right, True Seekers. Religion. When will we learn to stop dividing over religion? If there is a creator, then we're all the children of God. He gave us pretty much all the same faculties to know right and wrong. It's inherent. I always look at my dad. My dad, never a part of religion, always been a good person who's lived by the golden rule. Sure, he could dedicate more of his time to things that matter rather than Yankee ball games. But again, never really done a bad thing to anybody. Anyone ever asked him for help, if he could help him, he would. Never been part of any religion, and never really cared for it. And again, I point that out just because, again, just the internal human being, the simple understanding that's just inherent. Treat people well. You want to be treated well. That this stuff of people these days going, I don't like the golden rule because some people want to be treated bad. Really? Does anyone really want to be treated bad? I don't think so. There might be some people who had bad things happen to them and they're messed up in the head, but it's because the golden rule was violated against them from a young age. Anyway, we'll leave it there for now. And until next time, Truth Seeker.